Good morning. How are you? Did you get time to revise? Hmm? So, shall we start from the last class? Okay, you have the remote. Can you pass on the remote? Yeah. So, is it fine? Equivalent to room temperature of outside. Okay. So, yeah. So, last class, we had talked about two important topics that can be asked in the exam. Okay. So, which are those topics? Jainism and Buddhism. So, will you be able to solve some questions? Okay, I'll give 2 minutes. Just look into the notebook. What you have written with respect to Jainism and Buddhism. You must have written a lot of sects. You must have written architectural contributions. What are those? Just look into those aspects. Done? Okay. Shall we start seeing the questions? Your notes must have been only 2 pages, right? Okay. It won't take too much time to look into the. Okay. So, whatever we have written. So, see the first question. What they are talking about. So, amongst these both religions, Jainism and Buddhism, which is that religion that believed in souls, the concept of souls? Jainism. See the question. Answer should be Jainism. Do you know when this question was asked in UPSC? It asked in the year 2023, just 2 years back. Simple, right? If you are, it's a halwa question. It shouldn't even take you 10 to 15 seconds to solve this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Describes the best concept of nirvana in Buddhism. What is nirvana? Enlightenment. Okay. Giving up of all desires. Okay. That is true. See, Buddhan's main teaching ಏನು? It's life is full of suffering. Okay, ಆ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ಏನಕ್ಕಿದೆ? ಕಷ್ಟ ಲೈಕ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಪಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕಷ್ಟ? There is pain, there is suffering because we have desires. ನಿಂಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಆಸೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ನಾ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಲೇಟ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್, ಟು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಡಿಸೈರ್ ಟು ಪಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. If you don't have the desire to, if you don't have any desires, then you won't have any sufferings. Okay, so like that's where actually like the saints will try to reach. Hmm? So what should be the answer? Got the concept of nirvana. Okay. Extinction of the flame of desire. I mean, desire now, so extinct other in life only. So you will achieve the nirvana. Okay. So when will you people achieve the nirvana? Soon? Okay. We have come across two structures, two, three structure when it comes to Buddhist architecture. So like one is Chaitya, one is Vihara, second is Stupa, third is Stupa. Okay, so like there was a question in UPSC 2024 itself. So with regard to Stupa. Okay, so do you remember I told you although stupas are associated with Buddhism, but okay, the origin of stupas are not from Buddhism. Even before Buddhism came into India, so like there was a concept of stupas. Okay, so here they are asking you question about chaityas and viharas. Okay, see, I'm not giving you any easy questions. These questions are asked in the UPSC exams, the toughest exam, so-called toughest exam in the country. Okay. Chaitya is a place of worship and Vihara is a place of Chaitya is a place of worship and Vihara is a dwelling place of the monks. Okay, so see, we have come across three structures: Chaityas, Viharas, and Stupas. So Chaitya, so like it's a hall where the monks will go and do the prayers. Okay, so what is Viharas? After like traveling so much, they'll be tired, right? They need to take rest. So like ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, so like for you it is called home. For them it is called viharas. Okay, because they don't have any permanent home. Okay, no, like saint is one who leaves everything, right, including their home. So like they will be traveling so much. Okay, even after traveling so much, after preaching so much, so they need to take rest. Okay, so like that resting place is called viharas. Okay, the place of worship is called chaityas. So with respect to Hinduism, what is that place of worship is called? So or with respect to Arabic Muslims, what is that place called? Mosque or masjid. Okay, masjid, mosque, temple, and chaityas. Same thing. Place of worship. So where do people of Christianity goes? Church. Church. See, when you are preparing for the exam, this you should be secular. Okay, so when you are given the post, okay, you won't be given the post that will be a post for only this religion or only for this section of people. Other like you'll be posted for everyone, right? So you should have that secular mentality. Questions are feeling easy, somewhat easy. Okay, so let's see some difficult questions. Okay. Staviravada belongs to Mahayana Buddhism. See, there are three sects: Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Okay, so like, do you think like Staviravada belongs to Mahayana Buddhism? Within Hinayana, there are a lot of subsects. If you remember, what are those subsects? ಹಿನಾಯನದೊಳಗಡೆಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಬ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಆ ಸಬ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ಹೆಸರೇನು? Forgotten. So one is like Staviravada and Mahasangikas. Okay, I told you to revise just now. I have given you time of 2 minutes. Okay, so can you understand now? Okay, so like this must belong to Hinayana school of thought. Okay, not to the Mahayana. So this option is gone. Okay, if it goes like A gone, D gone, okay, you're left with 2 and 3, and you shouldn't even see 3 because like 3 is common in both. See, this is how you save time. Okay, you know this for sure. Okay, these two options gone. Okay, so like even if you want to check, don't check. Not in the exam hall. This is how you save like precious 15-20 seconds. It might not matter too much here. Okay, so like 15-20 seconds can have a lot of value. What is the like okay race? For example, this year Olympic race, 100 meters. So like do you know the timings by which a person called Noah Lyles won the 100-meter race? 100-meter is so fast, right? Especially in the world. Okay, so who is the person who won the 100-meter race this time? Olympics happened just last year, 2024. You are aware of the Olympics? It's a grand event. Okay, so which happens once in 4 years. Okay, so on the like 100-meter race, he's a person called Noah Lyles. Noahkaliles. Okay. He ran 10 meter, like 100-meter in 9.80 seconds. Okay. 9.80 seconds. You know, it's not the greatest cost. Okay. If you see the races from last 20, 30 years, okay, all the races, all the participants who are winning gold in like 100 meters, Olympics 100 meters, they are all running sub 10. Okay. That's not the point I am trying to make. Okay. Well, but sometimes the seconds will have like so many precious value in your life. And just like this, so like one gone. So like you shouldn't even check three those somehow right. You should only concentrate your energy on the second. So like I was talking about 100 meters, right? So no all else Elena. Okay. So what happened on that day was like the person who got second, he also finished at 9.80 second. You know, but what is the difference amongst these two? Okay, take a second. Second is so fast. I mean, over the moment I breathe, so second is over, right? So like that's so fast second is. Okay. So take a second, divide that second into 5,000 parts. Divide this second into 5,000 parts. Second itself is a very small fraction of the time. Okay. That you need to divide it into 5,000 parts. Okay. For 4,999 parts, there was no difference between the person who is like was getting first and who was getting second. They were almost on the same line. Only under 500, like 5,000 seconds that Noah Lyles won, and he won the gold. I mean, rather than so like no, I mean, getting impressed with Noah Lyles, I was impressed with the computational abilities we have in the present day times. Can you imagine, like, second can be divided into so many parts? See, like, jagat ಎಷ್ಟು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ. So, like, you can learn it from so many other places also. The sports, like, because second is such a smaller fraction of time. If that has to be divided into 5,000 part, like, it means, like, imagine the computational abilities we have right now. But the point is, sometimes seconds, fraction of seconds can play a huge and crucial role in your life. Okay, here, these kind of things. Right? Like, okay, one is gone for 100% sure. So, like, then remove these two. Three and the right relevant. So, like, don't even look at the statement three. Okay? Like, for our sake, we'll look at it. Okay? This is a trick which you should apply in the exam. Exam hall trick either. Okay. So, for here, like, we'll look the definition of Buddha by Mahasangikas fostered Mahayana Buddhism. I told you. Okay, so like from Hinayana to Mahayana, okay, it happened because of the Mahasangikas. Okay, so Mahasangikas later, like again, they started like, okay, they were the liberal school amongst this Saviravada, okay, and Mahasangikas were the liberal school. Okay, community of like, like great members community. Maha plus Sangika. Okay. It's nothing but great members community. Okay, so like this Saviravada, they were a bit more like what do you say, conservatives. ಮುಂಚೆ ಬುದ್ಧ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ಸ್. Okay, so like they are liberals. These people are liberals. Okay, who are liberals? Mahasangikas. So like this Mahasangika sects later gave into rise to Mahayana Buddhism. We know for sure. Okay, Hinayana Buddhism there is no idol worship. Right? So but with respect to Mahayana Buddhism, there is idol worship. Okay, that happened because of the deification of Buddha by Mahasangikas fostered Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, so like see the second option, Lokattaravadin sect was an offshoot of Mahasangika sect of Buddhism. Is it right? Lokattaravadin sect. Yes, I told you. So like the Mahasangikas that divided itself into, there are like again subsets of Mahasangikas. Okay, so that is Lokattaravadin Kaupatikas. Do you remember that? Okay, so like these things we have talked in the last class. Okay, so second statement is also right. Now, what should be the answer? Okay, any doubt here? So this question is difficult because we haven't exactly discussed this. But you have to apply logic to answer this question. Like Buddha was born in Lumbini. Lumbini is part of Nepal. Okay, then he wandered around places of like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Correct. Okay, not in other places. So yesterday we talked about this Avanti. Okay, like we gave the example of that Bahubali movie. Okay, which was shot in a place called Mahishmati. Okay, Avanti's capitals were Ujjain and Mahishmati. It had two capitals. So where is Avanti in present day state? It's there in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so like there he must not have wandered. Okay, so because of that logic, you can remove this. Do you know anyone? Do anyone know where is Gandhara? Gandhara is there in present day Afghanistan. Okay, so like Afghanistan, Pakistan, that region, the northwestern part, that also like he wouldn't have wandered. Okay, so like the places which are associated with the life of Buddha might not be Gandhara as well. So Kosala, so definitely right. Magadha, definitely right. Okay, this you could have answered this by logic. Wherever you are getting doubt, you should ask. If there is one chapter, like within these 6 days, which I want you people to master, it is Jainism and Buddhism. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಯಾರು ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಾ ಬುದ್ಧ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಎನಿ ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ how you should like look into your lives? Okay, no worries. See, we talked about a concept called bodhisattva. Okay, so in which sect of Buddhism, like three schools of Buddhism, Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, we see this concept of bodhisattva. Who is bodhisattva? Buddhist monk, that is true. He is also called as form of Buddha, other form of Buddha. But where did we see this? Can you open your notes with respect to Mahayana Buddhism? Have you written something called Bodhisattva just behind the Mahayana Buddhism? Okay, so Mahayana Buddhism only, that's where you see about like this concept. Okay, clear. Okay, you see this concept in Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, not in Hinayana Buddhism, right? Okay, so this, see, who is Bodhisattva? Don't look at board, look at me. Who is Bodhisattva? One who delays his own salvation, so can he help others to get the salvation. Okay, see, Nirvana sigbekala, that's the central concept of Buddhism. Okay, Nirvana easy sigala. You have to work hard to reach there. Okay, here, okay, so like Hinayana and Editu, you have to achieve Nirvana by yourself. But Mahayana is telling, okay, it's not just by yourself. Okay, you also need to, like, you can achieve Nirvana by taking the help of Bodhisattva. He can get Nirvana. Okay, so he himself can get Nirvana, but he is more worried about you people. He wants you people to get Nirvana first. So then that's why he is like, okay, so what do you say, like delaying his own Nirvana, staying with like common people. Okay, so that is the concept of Bodhisattva. This we have seen in yesterday's class. Okay, so this I had Nirvana, like this Bodhisattva concept is actually where we see that Mahayana Buddhism, not in Hinayana Buddhism. Okay, so first statement, what is it saying? Central to Hinayana Buddhism. Gone? Two options gone. So within this 2 and 3, which is that option which you don't see, you shouldn't see in the exam hall? No. Okay, so I'm not saying within here, like I'm talking within these two statements. See, one statement gone. Okay, so by this, two options gone. A and D gone. Now you are left with B and D. Okay, so what is common in B and C? What is common in B and C? 2. So in exam hall, you shouldn't even look at this statement. Because that has to be there. Even if it's 2 only, still it should be right. Okay, even if it is 2 and 3 also, still it should be right. Okay, exam hall alli ಏನು time waste ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Just by reading like okay statement 2 and to understand whether it's right or wrong. Why do you want to waste your time? You shouldn't, right? Okay, here you should like see the statement because there's a good chance of statements getting repeated. Okay. So Bodhisattva delays achieving his own salvation to help all sentients being on their path to it. We have discussed this. Okay, statement 3 is right. So Bodhisattva is compassionate one on his way to enlightenment. That is also true. Okay. Oh, so many questions with respect to this just sex concept. Do you understand why I had needed, like, although it's not discussed in NCRTs, why I needed to go a bit further, deeper with respect to sex of Buddhism? Can you see, like, okay, how many questions can be asked? Okay. Sautarnika and Sammatiya were the sects of Jainism. Is it right? Sautarniya and Sammatika were sects of Jainism. No? They are sects of this Sautarniya and Sammatiya. See, just remember, I told you to make this table, right? Staviravada and Mahasangikas. Hinayana. Correct. Second Buddhist Council. Second Buddhist Council ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೇ ಇದು ಈ ತರ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. So like within this, there were like other sects. Okay. Few of the sects I talked about is Sammatiya, then Sarvastavadins, right? Here, Lokataravadins. Have you made table like this in yesterday's class? So then you should be able to answer this. Okay. Sautarnikas and Sammatiya were the sects of
It's a sex of Buddhism.
Buddhism. Like that too in particular, like there are sects of Hinayana Buddhism within the Staviravada schools. Correct. So this is wrong. Sarvastavadin held the constituents of phenomenon were not wholly momentary but existed forever in latent forms. It is right. Okay. One of the trick is, I mean, okay, whenever like UPSC gives a authentic statement, so just by reading it, you can understand that so it has some value to it. I mean, here like Sarvastavadin is, so the things which like again, the things are not momentary. Okay, so like this school wants to tell you all is real. They existed forever in latent form. Okay. Answer for this question is two only. I think we are done with the questions. Okay, so last question. This is a very easy question. Halwa question again. Maitreya? Okay. So this Avalokiteshvara as well as Padmapani both means compassion. Okay. And both can't be the answer. So like they are gone. We have actually, I made you write, right?
Yes.
In last class. So that is, which of them is like future Bodhisattva. That is future Buddha. That is Maitreya. Okay. So yesterday I gave you one homework as well. This is it. Can you see, like, okay, whatever we have discussed, so everything was really crucial from the point of view of exam. Okay. It's not just we wanted to talk about Jainism or Buddhism because Jainism, Buddhism plays such a crucial role in your preparation with respect to exam. Okay. So, and also yesterday we actually stopped discussing when it was like when we were discussing about Jainism. Okay. So I gave you the homework, I guess. Okay. So which are the two sects of Jainism? Which are those two sects? Shvetambara and Digambara. Okay, so what are the personalities associated with like these two sects? The personalities associated with these two sects. Like again subsects of Shvetambara. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಶ್ವೇತಾಂಬರ ದಿಗಂಬರ ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಓಕೆ ವರ್ಧಮಾನ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಸೊ once he died. Yeah, so like there were like two of his disciples were there. Okay, so one name is Stulabhava. Okay, another's name is Bhadrabhava. This Tulabhavu fellow, bit intelligent, or somewhat cunning. So usually Bhadrabahu wanted to conserve the real teachings of Gautam, like Vardhamana Mahavira. Okay, so what happened was like there was a famine-like situation in Bihar. All these things happened in Bihar, present day Bihar. Okay, even with respect to Buddhism as well, like we see Buddha getting enlightenment. It happened in a place called Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya, which is there in Bihar. Okay, so there was a famine-like situation. Okay, so a famine-like situation in Liddaga. So like this. Okay, so Bhadrabahu, he came northern down to Karnataka. Okay. See, you see this Shravana Belgola development and all. It happened because like these people came to Karnataka and so like this Basadis, which are like associated with like Jainism religion, got developed in Karnataka. Okay, so that is the reason you see that. Voice is fine. Do you want me to talk louder? So if you want, I can do that as well. Okay, so but let's not scream. This is not a movie. Okay, so it makes sense for us to understand the things rather than so just to create a theatrics. So class is not a place for theatrics. That's what I feel. Yeah. So a real teacher should inspire other people through his words. Okay. I mean, I consider myself more of a mentor rather than a teacher. Teacher is like whom you have learned in schools. Because of them, like you are here, right? So like they were the one who would have like put a lot of efforts. Right? Like it's difficult to handle college students. It's can you can imagine like okay how difficult of a job the primary school teachers must be having. Sadly, in India, they are really underpaid, really underpaid. So under school, like okay, what is a kindergartens, lower primary and all, they should be paid well. Like you see Scandinavian countries. Okay, so countries like Norway, Denmark. So like there, the highest paid profession is actually like teacher of lower grades, like kindergarten, primary school. ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಬೇಡ. Okay. If I stand for election, all these primary school teachers will be like seeing this video, will be voting for me. Okay. I'm talking in favor of them, no? That's how election works, right? So like you say something which are so dear to the common people, and like they will be like chai chai chai. Okay, it's fine. We'll come back. We are talking about our two personalities. See, it's just that other stories or like other interesting things which we talk in class, so that your concentration is like focused here in the class. Mind is a very what do you say? It's monkey brain. The humans like we possess monkey brain. Like there is a Buddhist meditation technique called vipassana. ವಿಪಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. You just have to sit. Unlike other religion meditations, so here you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to chant any religious concepts. You just have to sit. You just have to meditate. Okay, but so I challenge you, like you can't meditate for 30 seconds. So within that, see, meditation is when you are sitting, closing your eyes. Okay? So like you shouldn't get any thoughts, shutting down your brain completely. That's what meditation is. But does our brain work like that? No. So it will like go from one place to another place, from another place to some other place. Okay. So this technique of vipassana you can definitely learn. It can be really helpful. Okay. There is what do you say, free YouTube lectures. Okay. With respect to this person called Goenka. Okay. So he was the one who conducts this vipassana techniques. So like it's a 10-day course. You can directly go. Okay, let's not talk about vipassana. Not that much of use when it comes to exam preparation. Okay, where was I? I was talking about leading these two persons, Stula Babu and Bhadra Babu. Okay, Bhadra Babu with like other Jain sects. Okay, came to Karnataka. When he came to Karnataka, like he must have been the next Mahavira Vardhamana. Like okay, so he was the like more dearer and he really wanted to preserve the thoughts of Jainism. But Jainism, we know like they have talked about something called see, Jainism is a religion which goes for extremes, right? When it comes to Buddhism, okay, they talk about being in middle path, Madhyama Marga. But like in Jainism, so like it is extremes. like avoid everything, including agriculture. Janayan Tinvaika. Okay. So avoid wars, including self-protection. I mean, what will happen? Like, okay, especially in that times. I mean, the times are challenging even now. So can you imagine like how the times would have been? Like, okay, how difficult things would have been. See, you must be seeing a lot of violence, okay, a lot of deaths in the present day. So that's what like a newspaper wants to, and news channels wants to, okay, make you see, right? So there is one thing, okay, why they want to see you see. I mean, there is no disrespect or anything. A person dying in America, okay, because of some shooting. So what bearing it has on your life? But after seeing that news, you'll be rattled, right? So ಏನಕ್ಕೆ rattled ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Think ಮಾಡಿ. You're getting rattled. Okay, so because the news channel's aim is to make you, okay, all problems your problems. Why you should avoid watching news is because of this. Like they are getting TRP. Like only when you like that can make you okay. So all problems like your problems. It happens in my home as well. Like sometimes like there will be flood, okay, which might have happened in some other country. That would be a old video that like they will keep it like keep running it on loop for 30 minutes or something. So then what happens is suddenly like okay, so even my parents will be, ayo, such a thing happened. I'll be like, okay, asking, how come it affects your life? Why you are like, okay, so, I mean, we need to have compassion for other beings, okay? So, but like, not through news. News is making you like okay consume everything. They're like they will get money only when like they make okay so all problems in the world your problem. Okay, and like news are now running because like they just want to show like only bad things which are happening in the world. Okay, see, this is not my original idea. This is again idea of Naval Ravikant. I don't want to steal someone's idea. So like intellectual theft is a theft, even if it is like okay intellectual theft. So still it's a theft. So, like, it's originally given by him. Such a brilliant thing, no? Why you should avoid news? Like this, that is one of the reason. Read newspapers. Okay, understand the concepts in depth. Not don't watch like especially like when you are preparing for the exam. Never watch news channels. They're nothing but garbage, rubbish things. Okay, run. Okay, they are run in such a manner so that like they can gain your money, they can gain your attention. Even they know it doesn't have any bearing in India, not in Karnataka, not in Gulbarga. Yeah. So but that's not like the how like they want to portray it. Why did we get deviated? Why did we get deviated? I was talking about again this Tulabhavan, but Tulabhava was intelligent. And I told you this Jainism. Okay, so with respect to Jainism, like this is the religion which goes for extremes. Unlike Buddhism, which talks about middle path. So like this Jainism goes for extremes. Okay, so ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಿ, including your own self-protection. That doesn't make sense. So even like this was understood by a person called Stulabhava. He understood, and like there is one concept also. Okay? So like ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ see, you also need to okay, so give up your the clothes you are wearing. You should be completely naked. Do you think it will be appealing? It will be appealing at least for the woman gender. No, right? They can't be naked. Okay, so she understood. Okay, and it was not appealing to the common people because like it was too extreme. Vardhamana Mahavira, what he said is true. You can attain that Kaivalya Gyan by doing so. But not everyone can actually reach to the level of Vardhamana Mahavira. So that's why like this Tulabhav, what he said is, so we'll become like white cloth wearing clad. Okay, so like that's why this Shvetambara originated. Shvetambara is okay. So like the people are the Jain saints who wear white clothes. Digambara is those people who still remain naked. Okay, so this is how like this originated. We have talked about Mauryas, right? At least to certain extent. So you know who is the founder of Maurya? Chandragupta Maurya. It's a person called Chandragupta Maurya. So ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ Chandragupta Maurya. So like this Bhadrabhahu. when he was coming to Karnataka, I told you he came to Karnataka for a certain period, like when there was a famine there, famine in Bihar. Okay. So while coming, he somehow convinced the king of Mauryas, that is Chandragupta Maurya. So like there is nothing being a king. Come. So like I will give you salvation through religion. Okay. So and he made Chandragupta Maurya come to Karnataka, like a king who started like one of the greatest dynasty, which didn't just control India, present day Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bangladesh. So and India. It was that kingdom which controlled like these countries, five countries. Can you imagine like how powerful he must be? He left his kingdom. He came to Karnataka. He went through Salekana. Okay, Salekana is through starvation, like you attended Kaivalagyan. Okay, you like reach to death through starvation. You don't eat anything for like so many days. Badra Babu convinced the Emperor of India. कुछ नहीं है. Being emperor, no point. Come. Okay, we'll go and we'll practice this religion. This is how he died. Emperor who started one of the greatest kingdom like which India has seen, Chandragupta Maurya, died coming to Karnataka. Here he came, did Salekna, and that's where he died. There is 19th century one of the person like very famous person like socialism. Yeah, Karl Marx. Okay, might have heard his name. So no, with respect to socialism, like he's like the most famous person. He has said one thing: religion is a opium of common people. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಏನಂತ? Religion is like a drug to common people. Religion can be good thing. Sometimes religion can also be a bad thing. Okay, so it is important for all of us to be rational. When we are considering all these aspects, you have to be rational. Okay. See, these are the real concepts which you can apply in your life. See, like so many people. Okay. I mean, you will come across one of the next king of this Mauryan Empire. You see, we have what we have done. You understood what we are doing here.
Yes.
We have slowly started to Mauryas. Left Jainism and Buddhism. Okay, so like we talked about two sects of Jainism, that is Shvetambara, Digambara, the personalities associated, that is Thula Babu and Bhadra Babu. And like slowly through Chandragupta Maurya, we started talking about Mauryas. You might not have understood, but like I have already like progressed to Mauryas now. Okay, so like that is your next topic as well. Okay, so like this Mauryas, the first ruler of Maurya is Chandragupta Maurya. ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪವರ್? How did he get that power?
It's last emperor of
Last emperor of Nandas, Dhanananda. Okay, so like he fought with Dhanananda. Okay, how? Why? Like, okay, it's difficult to fight with the emperor. You can't go directly fight with the like present CM of Karnataka, no? Like you can't go and like directly fight with the present PM of India. ಒದ್ದೋರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so how come like a common person could have won the war against the king? Okay, it happened because of a person called Kautilya, Chanakya. It was like Chanakya that helped Chandragupta Maurya. That helped Chandragupta Maurya also assemble army. Okay, that army like in turn was able to defeat the Nanda. Okay, and Chandragupta Maurya became the next emperor. Okay, so this is how like the Mauryan dynasty started. Are you able to understand? Okay, so flow hai class mein, like the things are connected from one topic to another topic. You're not feeling alienated, right? I hope not. Okay, so because these are all like really interesting things. There is a lot to learn from these things. It'll like see the grandson of Ashoka or personality. And, like when India must have seen so many kings, so many kings. Okay, so amongst all the kings, if there is one person who stands out, it is this guy, Ashoka the Great. Okay, so what's written in the board? Okay, so the things written in the board is okay how this dynasty can be studied. we have seen, okay, with respect to Harappan civilization, what we have seen is, so like there were mounds, through mounds, we have identified sites. Okay. Also like archaeological evidences like bones, pots, all those things. Through that, we have studied Harappan civilization. And if you go further back, so again, like to the tools, the lithic tools used by the earlier people from Harappas. Harappas ಬರೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ earlier people, what they were using? Stone tools. Okay. So like these stone tools, other evidences ಮೇಲೆ we have reconstructed that. Okay. See, it's difficult because we don't know. All these things happened not now. It happened like thousands of years back. Okay, not even thousand. Like you can calculate here. Okay, the this Mauryan dynasty, it started in 321 BC. Right now we are in 2025. 2025 plus 321. It will give you 25 plus 21. That is 46. 46 plus 300. 2346. Right, maths. Okay, engineering students. Okay, how come you cannot calculate this much? It's easy. Okay, so 2346 years. That's how much has been. See, maths and you're appearing for the competitive exam, you need to be good at calculations. Okay. Rather than calculation, you should be good at logics because it's about identifying those things. Okay. So, anyways, we are not here. I am not here to show you my calculation skills. So that's not a point. Because calculators already have been invented. I won't become famous like just by calculating things. No, like there was a famous person in India. Do you know? Her name is like Shakuntala Devi. She is called like human computer. ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೆಸರು? Human computer. KBC, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? Yeah, must have been. I don't know. So yeah, so like she is called like human computer. Yes, like she could do very large number calculations. So but present day times, yeah, it will look amazing, but the importance of it is not that much. Recently, like I have seen some advertisement in KBC where like one person was completely memorized the periodic table. Okay, so you know periodic table, how the elements are arranged. Again, so like again, like there is an interesting story. I have talked about sleep, right? Okay, so who is the person who has arranged periodic table in scientific manner? It was a Russian scientist called Mendeleev. Do you know? So the whole world was grappling with this problem of not arranging elements, okay, according to the characteristics. It was difficult. So scientists were like so perplexed how to get through this problem. What happened was, okay, so once like he was sleeping, it came into his dreams. It's a true story. I told you about a book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Okay, read that book. You'll understand that. Okay, it's a true story. Sleep can sometimes help you. It has helped in case of like Mendeleev, which has helped him. Okay, so in this construct the periodic table in the scientific manner. See, he must have constructed in 19th, 20th century, no? So it's been more than 125 years. Like here I am speaking like, okay, about him after 125 years, that in a Karnataka, in a place called Gulbarga. Okay, so you can imagine, okay, so like the things sometimes we do can have a profound impact. Which he did. I mean, he would have thought about like it lots of times. It's not that okay, so just because he was a common man or like sleeping, he was like already a scientist. He wanted to okay understand this problem in a deeper manner. So that's when like okay, he would have thought about it. So when you do these things, no, so like there are like different types of sleeps as well. There is something called like deep sleep. There is something called REM sleep, REM. Okay, so like that REM sleep is when you'll get the dreams. So I shouldn't speak about other things. Syllabus complete Angela. So I had to come back again to the syllabus. Okay, so tangible things, marks. Okay, so like here for us, the tangible thing is marks. Okay, our aim should be how to gain how to gain more marks. Okay, where was I? What was I talking? Ashoka the Emperor, right? Okay, so before we talk about Ashoka the Emperor, okay, so like let's see some of the sources through which you can study like this Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like I told you, Harappan civilization, how it can be studied. Okay, so like Vedas, ಹೇಗೆ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ? So like this Vedic society or the information regarding Veda, like Vedic society, either early Vedic or later Vedic, this we have constructed through the things written in the Vedas. They are our main source, along with the pottery and archaeological evidences. So like the main source of us for reading Vedas is, it's also the Vedas, the Vedic Samhitas. Okay, so like here we are already in the next phase. So that is Mauryans. Okay, so like how we study Mauryans. Okay, so like here, like we get lot of literary records. Okay, so can you see like there have been so many literary records that's written this. Okay, so one of the literary record. Okay, so let me open it here so I don't have to look back. Yeah. ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ? So first literary record. So that's written is Arthashastra. So like we have somewhat talked about this book, the beautiful book of Arthashastra. Okay. So Arthashastra is book written by a person called Chanakya. Okay. So he also goes with other names like Kautilya, Vishnugupta. Okay. So even if you just write, so Vishnugupta is not a common name or like won't be used many times, but at least like okay, so you should remember Arthashastra is written by a person called Kautilya and Chanakya. Okay, like not and or Chanakya. Okay, so like are equivalent to Chanakya. So because like they are nothing but synonyms. There's a good possibility they might be synonyms. Okay, so like this book. Okay, you know, like there was a really interesting story. We have talked about this. So like there is a person called Shama Shastri. This Shama Shastri, like he was a librarian in the 20th century. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ. This Shama Shastri, he was the first person who identified this. Okay, so like he got like his hands to this book. Otherwise, we would have lost it. Okay, he took so many years to compile it, and once it was done, he was getting so much of respect, especially from the Europeans, because they understood the value that this book is. Okay, because this book talks about a lot of things. Okay, how state should be. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ದೇಶ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಮಿದ್ ರೋಲ್ ಏನು. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ರೋಲ್ ಏನು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ರೋಲ್. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. Okay, so like what should be the role of ministers? Okay, so like how army should be. See, the content might be like written for like that. Okay, so like that period doesn't mean like we cannot apply or like we cannot learn from it for this period. Okay, definitely like that can be reciprocated here. Okay, so like here he talks about that. You know, like that's why Ashoka, like once he become a king, he tells that all these citizens, they're nothing but my sons. Don't you think the politician should think like that? That should be the reason why politician should become a leader. Okay, so because like he should treat the people of India as like his sons. Correct. Okay, so like it talks about all that. But what's the meaning of earth? Earth, earth is nothing but materialism. So it's economical thing. Okay, so like Artha Shastra. Okay, earth is materialism. Earth is not EARTH. Here earth is EARTH. Okay, E, and both are pronounced same. Don't get confused. Earth here means materialism. Okay, see, first time, if you are getting bit difficult to understand all things, okay, one thing you should understand is chronology of events. ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದ ತರ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಈ ತರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ, ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. Okay, so when you start to study like by your own, you'll be able to remember all these things. Okay, so is it interesting? Are you learning something? Like you should say, like we are learning all things, not just something. Okay, be attentive. So where was I? Okay. So see, whenever I am talking, your mind should work that the picture should come to you. Like Chandragupta Maurya, like he should come to you. Yeah, so like how he was conspiring with Kautilya. Okay, what they must be talking. Right, okay, how to defeat this Dhanananda. cruel ruler, huh? Huh? So like that's how like this Chanakya must have thought, no? How dare you humiliate me, bro? So what do you think of yourself? Huh? I'll show you what I am. Okay, he did show. See, I don't want to do these kind of theatrics in the class, but like still, so that only you get engaged. Yeah, so that's the only point I have to do all this. Okay, where was I? We were talking about like how the Mauryan history can be studied. Okay, so one of the foremost book is Arthashastra. Okay, all these things are written in this book Arthashastra. He tells okay how king should maintain himself. There are like a lot of interesting concepts as well. You don't need like he gave the concept that your enemy's enemy is your friend. ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ although like it shouldn't happen but it does happen in the society when you are too straight you'll have to like face so many problems. Hmm? Okay, so he said that straight plays are cut first. Real example, Veka. There is a person called Ashok Kemka. Okay, just now retired IAS officer, brilliant IAS officer, honest to the core. Okay, so like in his span of 30 years, do you know how many times he got transferred? He got transferred 60 times. See, because he can't be removed. Okay, because he's not doing anything wrong. Only way like okay he can be tortured is by getting transfers. See, it's not easy. Ivaga, right now you are in the bachelor life. So there is no responsibility. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಕಷ್ಟ like okay I'll just take my two bags and I'll go anyways like there will be quarters, government quarters. That's what you think. Imagine you are married. Imagine you have a family. Imagine you have a children. So we are at that stage. Okay, so like you are in the entering of that stage. Maybe in 5-6 years or like 7-8 years, even you will get married. Okay, you people want to get married, right? No? Okay, so what about you? You don't want to get married? Huh? No, ವಿಚಾರನೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಗುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗುಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೊ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and like if there are children around so like they will have to be like okay so they will have to go to school. How difficult that must have been for these people. Can you understand this thing? Yes. So like he has given a lot of what do you say? I mean these kind of brilliant wisdom. He also said now we know like see we don't know much good information about our scientists like what they are carrying out, but we definitely know that who is Shahrukh Khan, who is Salman Khan. No disrespect to those people, but I'm saying so see not just them. Imagine like some of the Instagram influencers who doesn't do anything, just come and do some entertainment things. Okay, so like even they will have millions of followers. Whereas like a scientist who is really like doing really good work, or like sports person who is not from cricket, who is like really like giving all his heart out, he's not getting recognition. Correct. He said entertainers ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. Kautilya. Don't you think it's a true even in the present day time? Can you understand like okay so like the wisdom this person must have had, Kautilya? Okay, what this book must have been. I mean, like that thing that bothers me most is how come we came from a land. Okay, so like that where like Arthashastra was written 2,400 years back got into the hands of Britishers. These Europeans, like they didn't do anything. Not before 2,400 years. They were clueless. Okay, maybe the population was there, but like there was nothing called civilization. Book bariyad ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಡಿ. Not in England. Okay, so so like we find records of civilization in France, like going back to 10,000 years as well. So that's a different story. Okay, so but the point I am trying to make here is, but like not these kind of books were written. not in the like okay, so like European history. They like okay, so started to write these kind of books in the 14th, 15th century. For example, like we have talked about Machiavelli. Okay, so like he was also like he is just like Arthashastra. Okay, so like state ಹೇಗೆ organize ಆಗಬೇಕು. State here means like empire or like polity ಅಲ್ಲಿ state ಗೆ country ಅಂತಾನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, how this state should be like okay, so compiled or like how this state should be run. Okay, what are the roles that should be played by king? What are the roles that's played by officials? What are the roles that's played by army? See, present day will be important. Ministers important. So like the work they are going to do. So affects all of us. So don't you think like the administrators are important? Like the position you are trying to get in. So they are also important. They will have a role to play. Don't you think army is important? So like he talked about all this. Okay. Then like he was written, he has written this all this for king. But like you can actually like compare it to the present day democracy as well. Like the role has to be reversed. That's it. How come after like having these kind of wisdom jewels, we fallen into the hands of the Europeans? That's such a sad thing. Okay. Do you understand? Reading history, okay, so can make you a better person, can give you a lot of wisdom, can help you gain better, make you better decisions in your life. Okay. ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ವೈ ಲೈಕ್ ಓಕೆ ಆಲ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ like either it can be UPSC or like it can be SSC or it can be KPSC. Okay, all these exams have kept the syllabus of history as part of your preparation because it has that deep wisdom. Okay, whether like you are willing to learn, that depends on you people. Okay, so I don't want to talk about history, just history. So we'll go to the next books. Okay, the Arthashastra. Okay, it is written by a person called Kautilya, Chanakya. Both are same names. Okay, Vishnu Gupta, Kautilya, Chanakya. He goes by three names. You can actually get any of the names. So he is none other than Kautilya or Chanakya. Okay, so this is the importance of this book. Okay, there are a lot of other things as well. Okay, if I just talk about like that book, it will take me full class. Can you imagine? See, you don't. He said, "Your enemy's enemy is your friend." International relations ಅಲ್ಲಿ think ಮಾಡಿ. So like when India were friends with America, so and America was considering China as like their enemy. We were also at one point of time considering China as our enemy. We were friends with America. Your enemy's enemy is China's enemy is America. Okay, our enemy used to be China. Okay, so like your enemy's enemy is friends. We are friends with like America. And this Trump came. He imposed huge trade sanctions. Okay, that impacted India severely. Okay, now okay, so like America is not our enemy. Okay, so sorry, America is our enemy, not friend. Okay, I mean the relation hasn't gotten that first, but I'm just giving you context. Okay, so now, okay, to a certain extent, America is not our friend now, but America's enemy is China. Okay, so like enemy's enemy. Like if America is India's enemy, their enemy, China, so can be our friend. So haven't you seen the pictures of Modi being so cordial with okay, so like Chinese leaders? Okay, so like there like recently one event happened called SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So like it's an organization. So where like India, Russia, China, Pakistan, all these are members. Yeah. So like within that event, so like you must have seen like in newspapers or in news channels. Okay, how cordial Putin, the Russian leader, and Chinese leader and Indian leaders were. Okay. So he has given not just that. Okay, to win a war. Okay, just by like spreading false information in opposition camp, you can still win a war. This must have happened in your lives as well. Imagine there will be one evil relative. Every family ಇರ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. So like they'll be like, okay, so we're telling something about something bad about you, you would have felt bad, really bad. Okay, but like, they would have achieved their goal, the short term objective. ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ. ಸಿ, I don't want you people to spread rumors to win a war, but be aware. If someone spreads rumors about you, so like you be on your mark. Okay, so like there are like a lot of other concepts. Like I have to move on. Like no matter how badly I want to talk about this, you can understand. Okay, so like I really want to talk about this, but I have to move on because for like sake of our completion of our syllabus. Okay, so Arthashastra. Next, the next important source through which you can study Mauryan history, so can be Indica. Indica is a book written by Megasthenes. Megasthenes. Okay, so who was this Megasthenes? Why he is writing a book about Mauryan dynasty? Okay, so you know who was this Megasthenes? ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 325 to 327 BC. Okay, so you want me to get up and write? Okay, no, it's fine. I want to get up. Okay. 327 to 325 BC. One person came to India. His name is Alexander the Great. ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ? I mean, so you know who he was a student of? He was a student of Aristotle. You know who Aristotle was? Aristotle was a polymath. What's the meaning of polymath? Polymath ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ so like a person who has skill in many other sectors. So like this Aristotle, he talked about polity. He was a like premier scientist. Biology as a subject, zoology. Okay, within that zoology as a subject originated from this person. Okay, so this guy was teacher of Alexander the Great. And it was Alexander the Great wanted to come to India, wanted to conquer India. He didn't just wanted to conquer India, he wanted to conquer the whole of the world. Okay, he wanted to because he was the first person. Like there are two people. Yeah, one is Alexander the Great, who wanted to win the full world. Second is there is like in medieval times there comes a king. Okay, Mongolian king called Genghis Khan. So even that guy, like at least this guy just wanted to win the wars. So like Genghis Khan, like that's so cruel. So like the after winning the wars, okay, after winning the wars of the places, so all those places used to get destroyed. So I mean, there is interesting story with respect to Genghis Khan. She should have come to India. Okay, so like there comes a one ruler, Delhi Sultanate ruler called Iltutmish. Okay, he diverted the attention somehow. We'll talk about it. Okay, we'll talk about this Delhi Sultanate. So when maybe on Friday or Saturday. Okay, so this Alexander the Great. Okay, so I mean, I wanted to tell you about the teacher of Alexander the Great because Aristotle is such person. Really, like he had such a wisdomous knowledge with respect to so many subjects. Aristotle, in turn, was a student of again great teachers, Plato and Socrates. So that line of teachers, it can amaze you. Okay, so imagine like back in that time when there was nothing. So if you are a student of these people, how much you could have learned. Okay. So, anyways, I'm actually like moving on now. Okay. So, like this Alexander the Great, okay, he wanted to conquer the world. Okay. So he also came to India. Here, like in India, see, he marched up to India. So Greece is somewhere. Okay, imagine this as a globe. Okay, so Greece is somewhere, India is somewhere. This. Okay, so from here, like he actually like conquered all these areas. Actually, like from it was from India, he went back, and she didn't even went back to his homeland. A person who conquered at least half of the world, right in between. Alexander the Great. Okay, so like who conquered half of the world. He didn't die a peaceful death. He died while he was going back to his kingdom. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ he wanted to win. Okay, so he wanted to conquer India and move further, like okay, east side. But what happens is, like in India, like he gets a stiff resistance from the tribal people. So that's when he thought that okay, so it's a bit impossible task. I won't be able to do that. And also his army gives up. And he is the person who didn't lost a single war. That's why he said, what he said. So like here I am, okay, lying where I couldn't be defeated by anyone in the whole world. He's getting defeated by my own army because they didn't want you to move further. They said we'll go back. I mean, living away from family for so many years, it's difficult. See, you know about Alexander. What about those soldiers who could have marched with them? Their purpose is not solved. No, they haven't got the recognition. At least like Alexander the Great, like even after like this many years, 2,400 years, we are still talking about this person. But what about the soldiers who accompanied him? That's why I feel sometimes sad for the people who want to become activists. Want to activist, if you want to be become an activist, make a name for yourself. Like all the activists, like after a certain point of time, they will become leaders. Okay, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ sacrifice ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Their life, they just want to portray themselves as activists. They want to like fight for one cause. Okay, they'll be saying, "Oh, yeah, we are." But at the end of the day, like there will be some aim. They might not be telling it openly. Okay, so but like there will be some aim. So like that, they will become activists. Like what about the followers of those activists? Common lay followers. Out them karte. He will become a leader. He will become MLA, MP, or minister, whatever. What about common people? Like interesting thing has happened. Like there was like Indiaದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಪಾಲ್ ಬರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. So like there were like few people who were protesting in Delhi. Anna Hazare. Okay, so like there is also one of the like earliest female IPS officer. Like her name is Kiran Bedi. Okay, and Arvind Kejriwal. You know about Anna Hazare. Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi actually fought election with BJP, and later like she became lieutenant governor of this Puducherry. Okay, she got the political position. About definitely you must have heard about this person called Arvind Kejriwal. So, like, he also became the next CM. When they were protesting for this Lokpal, so did Arvind Kejriwal tell to his followers, like his next aim is to enter politics? ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ? He didn't tell, but like he later became. So what about the common people who followed him? Did they get the same recognition? Okay, so that's why, I mean, if you get a chance, don't make foolish decisions. Okay, so like life is an individual game. You have to move ahead individually. It makes sense. Okay, so like here in this life, so like it's an individual game. Okay, you come here alone, you go here alone. You fight for yourself. Yeah, so I don't want to give these kind of talks, but like let's get back to history. So some other day we'll talk about this. Okay, so like if I get a complete regular batch here, we'll talk about all these things effectively. Okay, also I mean I'll make sure like you'll get the subject. Don't worry about that. Okay, so at least now are you getting the picture? What is the ancient India? So like how it was. Okay, I was talking about these two people, right? So who were there? Who were them? Alexander the Great. Okay, Alexander the Great. Ilinda actually ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. Okay, so from here because his army used up. Okay, while going back, he has already won some part of India. That is northwestern part. Present day Pakistan ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. So we saw about like that Takshila Gandhar. That part was already won. So main landing ಬರಲ್ಲ. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಂದಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Can see the timeline 325 327. Okay, just 6 years before Mauryas come into power. So that's when actually Alexander the Great visited India. Okay, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಂದಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, ನಂದಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಬಿಹಾರ್, ಮಗಧ್ ಆ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. So Alexander the Great never reaches Ganga, like never reaches like this Ganga river or this Magadhan empire. Okay, so only like until okay, so Punjab, northwestern India, he came. Okay. So like there, once his army gives up, he goes back. But like he has already won that places. Our places now already get this in it, correct? So like then those places needs to be controlled in the name of the great King Alexander. So that's why like he nominated like few people as governors. Okay, so one of the people who controlled that northwestern part, his name is Seleucus Nicator. Seleucus Nicator. Okay, he was governor of Alexander the Great. Selecus. Okay. I don't know why like the spelling looks like this here in the words. Okay. I don't write this bad in like when I am writing in my books. Okay. My handwriting are like decent enough. But here, yeah, I don't know. So, but like the spelling here is like Seleucus Nicator. So, like he was the governor who was ruling Northwest India. Okay. So, like 327, 325 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 325 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ like he was the person who was governing northwestern India. See, imagine like this is okay. So, you must have a figure. Wait. Yeah. Okay. So, see here. Uh, his name is mentioned. Okay. Territory ceded by Chandragupta Maurya. Okay. Territory ceded to Chandragupta Maurya by Seleucus Nicator. Okay. After the war. So, like, ಈ place na control ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು Seleucus Nicator. Okay. So, like, who is the founder of Maurya? Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, so like he is the first person, right? The founder of Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like he wins the war with Seleucus Nicator. Okay, so like who is Seleucus Nicator?
Is the governor.
Governor of Alexander. Okay, who was ruling northwestern India. Okay, so like you can see northwestern India. Okay, like northwestern Indian subcontinent, you can say. Okay, so like now this part is not in India anymore. This is called Pakistan now. Okay, earlier like it was nothing but like one part. Only in the year like 1947, it has been divided into two countries. Okay, so like there is partition, a horrific incident like both nation had to go through. You know, what is the death count of COVID in India? That too, like including both the cycle, like both the waves. Like there have been two horrific waves, right? Horrible waves. So like that led to devastation and death of so many people in India. Okay, you must have gone through, like you must have like seen people. Okay, how the city was. City must have closed. So everyone must have been so much of fear, especially like when second wave came. Okay, like there was so much of death happening. No, what is the death count of all over India? So for COVID, it must have been around like 2 to 3 lakhs. It's less than 5 lakhs. Okay, so like including all the death counts of COVID. COVID is a pandemic. So you know what is the death count of partition? Now, how horrible the incident of partition must have been. The death count of partition was 1 million, that is 10 lakhs. COVID time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 3 times problems. Partition is not a beautiful thing that has happened for our country. It had so much of loss of life, loss of death. I mean, the horrific incidents of partition, like when you read about like the post-independent India, you will definitely go through that chapter. That's why Gandhiji like sat on for like hunger strike to not to stop the partition. He at least wanted to stop the violence. Okay, so anyways, we'll come back to Mauryas. Okay, so it's a journey. Like history is a journey. So where like you have to see the things in a connected manner. Okay, so like this northwestern India, it was getting like it was controlled by Seleucus Nicator. Okay, and like this Seleucus Nicator fought a war with the founder of Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like that is Chandragupta Maurya, and he lost that war. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya won that war. Okay, after winning that war, like all this northwestern part, it became the part of Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so along with that, okay, so like it became Mauryan dynasty. One of the ambassadors of Seleucus Nicator, his name is Megasthenes. Okay, one of the ambassadors of Seleucus Nicator, his name is Megasthenes. He was like sent into the court of Chandragupta Maurya, and he has written a book. Although that book is not available completely now, okay, it is available only in part. Okay, that book is called Indica. Okay, so like Arthashastra done, Indica. So Indica is written by a person called
Yes.
Megasthenes. Okay. So you understood who Megasthenes is. Okay. And like he like Arthashastra is written by
Okay.
Kautilya. So like there are other sources as well. One of the sources is Mudra Rakshasa. Like who has written this Mudra Rakshasa? So like it's written by a person called Vishaka Datta. But Vishaka Datta, see, Arthashastra written by Kautilya. Kautilya, he is there in the period of Mauryas. Indica is written by a person called Megasthenes. Okay, he is there in the period of Mauryas. But like Vishaka Datta, so when he has written this book called Mudra Rakshata, okay, so like he has written it in the 5th century. Okay, 5th century AD. It means how many years after, like, okay, so like this incident have happened, he has written this book. 800 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 500 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 300 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ 800 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೀತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವಾಗ 11th ಸೆಂಚುರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಇವಾಗ ಬರಿಬೋದು ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ okay so that's what like this you just need to like remember that this person Vishaka Datta okay he didn't belong to the court of Mauryas. This can be a question. Mudra Rakshasa, which is written by Vishaka Datta, he was there in the court of Ashoka. ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಮುದ್ರಾ ರಾಕ್ಷಸ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ವಿಶಾಖ ದತ್ತ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್ you will know like he has written about Mauryas. Okay, so like you will know like okay, so like he was there in the court of Mauryas. ಇರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. So that's how your brain will think. Okay, but that's not the answer. Like 2 books have been written by this person Vishaka Datta. One is Mudra Rakshasa, another book is Devi Chandragupta. So like that's anyways part of what do you say Gupta dynasty that will come in the 4th century. Okay, so like there are Ashokan inscriptions. Okay, Ashokan inscriptions. Okay, there are like okay, minor and major rock pillar inscriptions are there. So like that can also serve as a good indicator of studying Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so and like there is one writer called Justin. Okay, he was a Greek writer, and like there is one more writer called Pliny. Okay, he is Roman writer. Okay, just covering the sources of Mauryan dynasty can give us a lot of information, lot of marks. There is one book written by a person called Patanjali. Okay, he has written a book called Mahabhashya. Mahabhashya, it was a commentary. Okay, so based on the book written by Panini. Panini has written a book called Ashtadhyayi. Okay, so like Ashtadhyayi, too much information. Huh?
You told that book most likely is a question has been existing.
It will be asked so many times.
Yes.
Okay, so like who will be the contemporary and all like that will be asked so many times. Okay, I know like that's the only reason I'm telling you. And like if I just cover the sources itself, it can give you so many marks. Okay, so like there will come a person called Hemachandra. So like he is a Jain scholar. Okay, he comes in 9th, 10th century. He also writes about it. So like I'm telling you, just by like okay, reading the source give you so many marks, but like you need to have a consolidated understanding. Okay, I was talking about just let's use the board this side. Patanjali. Okay, he has written a book called Mahabhashya. This is ASYA. Okay, so don't get the spelling confused. BHASYA. That is Mahabhashya. Okay, this Patanjali Mahabhashya ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ there is one more book called Panini's Ashtadhyayi. YAYI. Okay, so like this Ashtadhyayi. This is book written by Panini. Okay, so which gives Sanskrit grammar rules. Yeah, which gives Sanskrit grammar rules. Okay, so like that is book name ಏನು ಅಷ್ಟಧ್ಯಾಯಿ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಯಾರು ಪಾಣಿನಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು 5th century BC. Okay, so like this Patanjali's book, what is that book name? Mahabhashya. So when this was written, it's written in 2nd century BC, after Mauryan dynasty. Okay, you need to understand, like Panini was there in the court of Mauryas, or like Panini was there in the court of Shungas. ಅಥವಾ like ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ನೋ. Okay, so like there is already a question based on this. Right. See, they want to test your brain. It's not about like how much facts you know, how they can test your brain, not just by like knowing this. Okay, by connecting with the history. Okay, so like this is one aspect of knowing the game. Second aspect is okay, testing your like interconnective abilities. That's when it shows to the examiner you have concentrated while you were studying. Okay, ಹಾಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. I will show you umpteen questions. So like I think I talked about like this, the person who has written Mudra Rakshasa, ವಿಷಾದಗತ. ಇದನ್ನ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಅಥರ್. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ನೋ ವರೀಸ್. So if not today's class, tomorrow's class I will show you. And like this also, like I can show you the questions. How the Panini is associated with like some other ruler. Arey bhai, like you should know the timelines. 3rd century BC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌರ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, 5th century BC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೌರ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಪವರ್, like 2 centuries before, like this person is already there. How can like okay he be associated with like or how he can be in the court of some ruler? Correct. That simple timelines. You need to understand these things. Okay, it can play very crucial roles. So like this again, Patanjali. So because like he has written in 2nd century BC. Okay, where like by the time like this Patanjali, when like this Mahabhashya book has written, okay, so like by the time Mauryan dynasty already got disintegrated. Okay, it was already fallen by that time. So like if he is getting associated with Shungas, you can somehow make it right, because like people in 2nd century BC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, the people who will be ruling India. So it was Shungas. After Mauryas, it was Shungas, right? So like if like because like 2nd century BC timeline match ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, somehow you can make it right. See, these are like simple intricacies. How you can clear the exam when it comes to history. Like these are the simple intricacies. Okay, so like if you understand this, okay, so see this ಇದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, you will come across so many personalities. So in ancient India, in medieval India, all those places you can do this. Okay, so I will show you umpteen questions, contemporaries ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ. So questions will be asked. Okay, so like Patanjali, anyways, like this is commentary on the book Ashtadhyayi. Okay, still like okay, it consisted some details with respect to Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so I was telling you about like these two people. Pliny, he was a Roman writer. What's the time? Oh, that. Okay, so and like there are Buddhist chronicles. Okay, so like there are Buddhist chronicles like Deepa Vamsha, Mahavamsha. Like one of the book is Ashoka Vadana. Okay, Ashoka Vadanದಲ್ಲಿ see what is the timeline of Buddha? Yesterday we have seen it. Think. 563 BC to 483 BC. Okay, so like Gautam Buddha, like after death of Gautam Buddha, so like coming of Mauryan dynasty, not about Ashoka. Ashoka dalli third ruler, it is like like third ruler will be Ashoka. Okay, so before Ashoka came, like there are like two other rulers, Chandragupta Maurya and Bindusara. So Chandragupta Maurya ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ ಅವಾಗ 321 BC, the start of Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like, can you understand? Like, there is 160 years gap with respect to Gautam Buddha's death and coming into power of this person, Chandragupta Maurya. So like there must be around 200 years gap. So when Ashoka came and like death of Buddha, not birth of Buddha. Okay, so like Ashoka like rule ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಿನ 200 years ಮುಂಚೆ. So like there is already death of Buddha that has happened in 463 BC. Okay, so you can understand all these things. Okay, so like why I'm telling you is like this book, like this Buddhist chronicles, like Ashoka later turned himself into Buddhism. ಅಶೋಕನ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದನ್ನ like don't take him lightly. Ashoka has been your ruler as well. He was ruling this place as well. Okay, I mean he must not have come here, but there are some inscriptions. One of the inscription is Kanganalli inscription. Okay, which bears his name. Okay, so like that, it was found in a taluk called Chittapura taluk. Anyone knows where is Chittapura? I am not aware how much distance from here, Chittapura taluk. 50-60 kilometers. Ali Chittapura talukalli there is a place called Kanganalli. Okay, Kanganalli like there are Ashokan inscription. Okay, you know what is the famous thing with respect to this Kanganalli inscription? Okay, so Kanganalli inscription ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so like there is a portrait of Ashoka. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಗೂ, so like we know it is like, okay, Ashoka. Okay, we know it from like other sources. Okay, so like he used to bear the nicknames Devanamatiya, okay, and like Piyadarsi. They are the nicknames. Literally, like I told you, like inscriptions are Ashokan inscriptions are the sources. Okay, rock pillar inscriptions are the sources of Ashoka. So like this, we know it. Okay, so like, but the thing is, when it comes to like after below that inscription, so like the person who has written, he didn't used to call himself Ashoka. Rather, like he used to take two nicknames, Devanamatiya. Okay, that is below to the gods. Okay, so other nickname is Priyadasi or Priyadarshi. Okay, Priyadasi or Priyadarshi. Like Priyadarshi meaning is aesthetical one. He called himself aesthetical one. Okay, so but like this Kanganalli inscription, it didn't just had like these names. Rather, it had a portrait of Ashoka. You are living in the land of once. You are living in the land where once Ashoka was ruled. Nim district ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. Okay, this Kanganalli inscription. Anybody visited? No. So, like now you have found out the information, you can go because it's so nearby. So like you can see history is about discoveries. So like try to find more about these things. Okay, so go into it. Which is the river like that is flowing here? Actually, ಇದನ್ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಕಂಗನಹಳ್ಳಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ 1993. 30 odd years back it was being discovered. Okay, how it was discovered also an interesting story. The dam was getting built. That time like they have found like some like these okay artifacts. So then later like when it was investigated, it was found out to be like Ashokan pillars. So my question to you people is, which is the river like flowing in your region? Array. Okay. Don't you think it's important to know about your region first? To start to know about, like, we have gone back into the time of 2500 years now. So you should know about your region. It's the Bhima River which is flowing in your region. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ರಿವರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ignorance. I mean, there is an unfortunate thing as well. Like this Bhima River is a tributary of Krishna River. Okay, Krishna River has like so many tributaries. Okay, so Krishna again originates in Maharashtra. So like it drains in Maharashtra, like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. Okay, so like this Krishna River, okay, it has like so many tributaries in Karnataka. You must have heard Bhima, Ghataprabha, Malaprabha, Tungabhadra. All these are tributaries of like this Krishna River. No, like it's very wrongly attributed that Kannada Nadina Jeevanadi Kaveri. Song alli ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Because Kaveri drains 33,000 square kilometers in Karnataka. So, like this, what do you say? Krishna drains 1 lakh 15,000 square kilometers in Karnataka. It should have been like, okay, Kannada Nadina Jeevanadi Krishna, not Kaveri. These people, okay, so like South Karnataka people think that only South Karnatakans are okay. Karnataka is nothing but like only South Karnataka district, that Bangalore, Mysore, Mandya region. So they don't consider like the people of North Karnataka. Don't worry, I am in support of North Karnataka. Okay, I belong to a district from Central Karnataka. So Davangere, okay, but like we associate more with North Karnataka. So just like you people, like they haven't given us anything. So like we are in favor of like North Karnataka. Okay? So the people like who are watching like North Karnataka people, so you can vote for me. So we'll like okay bring development to this region in later times. Okay, so I'm not here to become politician. So that's entirely different ball game. It's very difficult ball game as well. Okay, so it's just to like keep you engaged. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll come back. Okay, Varana Vapas. Okay, so we talked about what did we talk about? So like again, like there are like other writers also. So who have written about so like this what do you say Mauryan dynasty? Okay, so I was all this came up like because of Ashoka only, right? So like this person, okay, so like Ashoka, he was sometimes exaggerated in Buddhist chronicles because you know Ashoka was such a ruler. He followed Buddhism. Okay. He gave up everything. At a certain point of time, he gave up everything. Okay. At the time of his death, didn't had any of his personal belongings. Everything was donated to Buddhism. Okay. And we know about his sons and daughters. Okay. Their name is like Mahinda and Sangamitta. Okay. They were sent to propagate Buddhism in other countries. Okay. So like he sent like his son and daughter to China and Sri Lanka. Their name is like Mahinda and Sangamita. Yeah, Mahinda and Sangamita. Okay, so you can understand, and we talked about stupas, right? So like that relics of Buddhism, okay, where like stupas are built. According to one estimated number, okay, so like Ashoka is responsible for constructing 84,000 stupas. You know the famous Sanchi stupa. Okay, later it was renovated. Okay, so like before, so it was constructed by Ashoka, the Sanchi Stupa also. He went to Lumbini. Lumbini is like birthplace of Buddha. He turned himself into Buddhism. That's also like interesting story. We'll talk about that. Okay, so like he turned himself into Buddhism, and when he turned himself into Buddhism, okay, so like later he went to Lumbini. There he reduced the taxes for those people. There used to be two types of tax called Bali and Bhaga. Bali and Bagha. Okay, he reduced the taxes for those people. Okay, and like along with that, there are like archaeological evidences as well. Okay, there are archaeological evidences as well as like numismatics evidences. Okay, so like the type of pottery that has been found in the Mauryan dynasty is northern black polished wares. Okay. Polished ware, WARE. Ware. Northern black polished ware. Okay. And through numismatics also we can understand about some aspects of okay, so like this Mauryan dynasty. So like the silver coins present during like Mauryan dynasty. So like the silver coins were called anas. Silver coin called panas. Silver coins like they are called panas. Okay, there are copper coins as well that have been found, so like they are called mashakas. The spelling is here. Silver coins are called panas. Okay, so copper coins are called mashakas. Okay, so like the chronology of Buddhism, I don't think I need to repeat. So like that's what's been written. Okay, so like Chandragupta Maurya, no, Parcha Gitara. Yes, Matadsidra. Okay, he's the founder. You must have talked, no? So like the same guy who actually like took Jainism, came to Karnataka, did Sallekana. Okay. Uh, so again, like his son, who next became the emperor, is Bindusara. You know what is the nickname of Bindusara? It is Amitra Gata. It means slayer of enemies. Amitra Gata, slayer of enemies. Mitra, Mitra. Okay, Gata. By like understanding this nickname, like you must be getting taught that so he must have killed all his enemies. He must have won like hundreds of wars, right? Samitra Gata. You know how many wars he has won? Zero. He didn't fought any war. Okay. So still, why he could have been called Amitra Gata, slayer of enemies? I want to ask you people one question. So whom do you consider as a skilled warrior? One who wins a war or one who can avoid a war? Think and answer. Who can be a skilled warrior? One who wins a war or one who avoids a war? Avoids a war. Brilliant answer. Can you hear me? One who avoids a war. Okay, so he is not incurring any losses. Like even if you are winning a war, okay, still like some of your resources is gone, some of your time is gone. Okay, so like the reason why he must have been called Amitragata, so because he was able to like avoid a lot of wars. There is a brilliant quote that has been asked by UPSC. So like essay has been asked by UPSC. So like that quote is the supreme art of war. Okay, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. The supreme art of war is to subdue your enemy. The supreme art of war is subdue your enemy. Okay, subdue your enemy without fighting. ಅಂದ್ರೆ so without fighting your enemy, so you should get up. Okay. It makes sense, no? Why he must have been called Amitragata. So, like, even after being, but very interesting personality. So, there is a Syrian king, Syria. So, like, Syria present day, it can be associated with ISIS. There is nothing in Syria right now. ISIS. Okay, terrorist organization. Okay, so which is controlling that Syrian place. Okay, so like there is, I mean, the devastation that has happened is really sad. Okay, so like even Syria is the place. At one time, it had ancient civilization. Okay, so like this Syrian king, his name is Antichos, Antichos, Antichos. Okay, so like he was contemporary of Bindusara. So Bindusara, so because he hasn't fought any war, must have had a lot of time. Okay, so when you have a lot of time, so what do you want to do? You want to chill, right? To chill, aram se. Okay, so you want to like okay, drink a lot of wine. Okay, so you want to eat dry fruits. Okay, so along with that, you need someone to talk. That's not like okay, so chilling out means right. So Papa, like our guy Bindusara, didn't had any war to play. Okay, so he found out. So like there will be a good wine and good dry fruits. Like figs can be available in Syria. He wrote a letter to Antichos, who was a contemporary of Bindusara. Send me some wine, okay, dry fruits, and a philosopher to talk with. Antichos sends him wine, dry fruits, and writes him back. Okay, in our philosophy, okay, so like in our tradition, okay, so like we can't send philosophers, but I'm sending you wine and dry fruits. Enjoy. Okay, so like here, he belongs to a sect called Ajivikas. See, his father, Bindusara's father, he belonged to a sect called, he later, which religion he took? Jainism. So, like this person, Bindusara, he took Ajivikas sect. Okay. So, like we know about Ashoka. Ashoka is associated with Buddhism. Okay. Isn't it beautiful? Grandfather Jain. Father, Ajivika. Son. Okay, so Buddhism. There has to be a religious, like religion should be a own, like it can also be from like, okay, one's own individual addition. It was allowed to see the society. Okay. His parents, Ashoka's parents, are like in turn Bindusara's parents, didn't actually like told them to follow a religion which they were following. Okay, okay. Calm down. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't look into it. Uh, where was I? I was talking about. Yeah, I was talking about Ajivika sect, and we know about this Ashoka. Ashoka came up with a sect called Buddhism. Okay, so no, he didn't come up with a sect. He rather followed Buddhism. Right, Buddhism was already there, like before 200 years or like before 250 years, before like Ashoka was even born. So like Buddhism was already there. But okay, he took this Buddhism sect. Why did he take the Buddhism sect? That also interesting question. Okay, so like he took Buddhism sect. Okay, it's fine. So you can listen. Like I'll give you a break, so you can talk to them. Okay, so in the break, where was I? No, not important, right? Yeah. So even if it's important, like if it's not pressing business, like if it's not emergency, you should say no, not important only. Okay. So that's how you answer diplomatically in class. Okay. So I mean, I hope like you can become diplomats once you clear this exam. You have brilliant opportunities. Like imagine if you get into IFS, Indian Foreign Service, you'll be ambassador to some of the important countries. No one can touch you. Okay. Like ambassadors have a lot of immunity. They can't be arrested in other countries, even if they commit a crime. They won't commit a crime. That's a different story. Okay, because they are representing India, like they're representing their countries. Okay, they won't commit a crime, but like they can't be arrested. Ambassador will have the immunity. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about Ashoka. See, the brilliance of this time, you can understand that Ashoka, he himself followed Buddhism, but he never told the citizens of like his kingdom to follow any religion. He told you can follow any religion. Okay, he wanted like religious tolerance is in his kingdom. Okay, so he gave one of the beautiful quotations when it comes to religious tolerance. He said, so when it comes to religion, okay, so like the person who holds tightly to his religion, the person who holds tightly to his religion, okay, he does more harm to his religion than good. Present day ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, so what's happening? There is a lot of religious tensions that's been happening in our country. Okay, so it is there, right? A religious tension between like different religions. Okay, so that is there. And so like the persons like who are pressing these religious tensions, they are not actually helping their own religion. Rather, they are harming their religion. Okay. So this is it. This is it with respect to the polity of Mauryan dynasty. We'll see some aspects very, very quickly. So you can get to answer a few questions. This there is nothing to explain here. Can you understand? Can you see here? Okay. He controlled up to Karnataka as well, the present day Karnataka. Okay. So like all this place was covered by Ashoka or Mauryan dynasty. Okay. So that's why it is called as first empire of Indian subcontinent, not just India. Okay, so you can see Bangladesh, you can see Afghanistan, Pakistan. Okay, you can see Nepal. All these were like under control of Mauryas. Okay, so I mean that's why like whenever we go to a war with Pakistan, the people of okay India will create a meme in that. Okay, so like this Pakistan will also be part of India and right Kanda Bharat. Okay, this you must have seen so many times. Okay, so but it used to be reality one time. But that time is long back, 1,400 years back. So that's different story. So anyways, like this is the map. Okay, so which was controlled by Ashoka. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ I guess like today's class you won't be needing any break no so isn't it interesting so why do you need breaks I have to complete the syllabus so I will give you the break but not exactly at all okay so prepare yourself okay so we'll give because I can't leave this topic in between and give you break ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಸಿ ಅದ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇಂದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ರಾಕ್ ಎಡಿಕ್ಸ್ okay especially like when it comes to major rock edicts okay you can see like okay major rock edicts are like denoted by this pillar edicts are denoted by this okay so like this make a map okay like for example you see here there is a place called Dowli present day ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇದು Dowli and Jaugada. It is there in a state called Orissa. Illideri. Okay, so it's there in a state called Orissa. So what about this? Amravati? Andhra Pradesh. What about this? Erragudi? No. It's also there in Andhra. Okay. So what about this? Sopara? Maharashtra. Correct. This is in Maharashtra. What about this? Girnar? No. Re, Rajasthan is the the people of Rajasthan will vote for you. Okay. You extended the territory so much. Because Girnar is here. Okay, Rajasthan is here. Okay, can you see like okay how much space they are giving you? Okay, like definitely. Okay, so go stand election in Rajasthan. Okay, so like Girnar it is there. Gujarat. Illide. So this is all Gujarat only. Okay, this is Rajasthan. Okay, so this where is Meerut? Delhi. Meerut is nothing but 150 kilometers away from Delhi. That is there in present day Uttar Pradesh. Delhi to Delhi hai. Okay, so what about this Kalsi? Kalsi is there in UK, not United Kingdom. Uttarakhand. Okay. So again, there are like other places. Lumbini, you must be knowing where Lumbini is. Okay. So this Laurian, Kausambi. What about Kausambi? So not in Madhya Pradesh. It is actually in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is so big. Like if you see, like Uttar Pradesh will be like this. Okay, so like at one side, like there will be Bihar. At one side, like there will be Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so like there will be Jharkhand. There will be other states as well. Okay, the Uttar Pradesh is really big. Okay, so like this Dowli Chowgada. Odisha. Just revise quickly. ರೀಸನ್ ಇದೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸೊ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ದೌಲಿ ಚೌಗದ ಒಡಿಶಾ ಓಕೆ ಅಮರಾವತಿ ಯರಾಗುಡಿ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೋಪರಾ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಒಂದು ಸೇರ್ಸೋಣ ಓಕೆ ಸನ್ನತಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಗಿರ್ನಾರ್ ಗುಜರಾತ್ ಸೊ ಕಲ್ಸಿ ಉತ್ತರಾಖಂಡ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಕೌಸಂಬಿ ಯುಪಿ ಓಕೆ ಲುಂಬಿನಿ ನೇಪಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೇ ನೇಪಾಲ್ ಓಕೆ ನೆನಪಿರುತ್ತಾ ಇದು Hopefully, we'll see. Let's see how much you can remember. Answer. This. Okay. ನಿಮ್ದೇಳಪ್ಪ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ only two which two
First and third.
first and third Dowli Chowgada both are in Odisha no ಇವಾಗಿನೂ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ರಿ Dowli as well as Chowgada both are in Odisha okay so like ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೌಗದನ ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ so like it becomes wrong. Where is Kalsi? Where is it? I know it's not in Karnataka. It is in UK, Uttarakhand. Okay, so like where is Erragudi? It is in Andhra Pradesh. So Odisha only two places, Dowli, Chowgada. Okay, Andhra Pradesh, two places. Okay, which are those? Eragudi, Amravati. Okay, Karnataka, Sannati. Okay, so like what about Maharashtra? Sopara. Okay. This not just map, like okay, take the whole PDF. Uh,
Right. So, actually, I put like HTML PDF, but I haven't got it.
no, like I will tell them. Okay, I'll tell them. I'll make sure like they will send you the videos. Okay. So why just take a photo? Like take the whole thing with you. So whenever like you want to revise this chapter, okay, you can remember like okay, you have attended this session. Okay, so like because this will be easier to like revise. Okay, if you go through books, so like just to know all this, you must like spend like you must read at least 100 200 pages, 100 pages. That is around like 12 to 15 hours of your time. So like that's too much of time. Okay, so like this, rather like go through this PDF. I'll make sure like you'll get the PDF. All the like see at least once my session ends here. Okay, all the PDFs which I have been using in the class, so that I'll make sure like okay you people get it. Okay, use this like okay at least save in the soft copy and whenever like you are revising those chapters or whenever you are getting doubt. Okay, so like although these are like not exhaustive PDFs, still you can use it. Okay, so answer here is two pays. Okay. So like where is Girnar? Gujarat. Okay, it's fine. To a certain extent you can understand, no? Like okay, how UPSC thinks. Okay, so like map na ನೋಡಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. Or like okay, you create those tables. I have told you like okay, so like if you want to pass this exam, there are few things. Learn timelines. Okay. Learn how to see maps. Okay, I can show you hundreds of ways. Like, I mean, if you have some idea, no, so I can make you prepare like this subject in very less time. Okay, there are a lot of tricks. Okay, how the subject should be prepared without like with cutting all the clutters. Okay, so only provided like once you read the subject and come. Okay, so with respect to revision, I can do you that. Okay, so like there are like tricks. Okay, there are tricks about trade. So like one trick is like okay, how you can use the maps. Okay, one trick is how you can use the timeline. One trick is how you can use the contemporaries. There are a lot of things like okay that can be done. So this at least answer this. This is very easy question. I have told about this. There should be religious tolerance. Okay, so like the religion ತುಂಬಾ like okay ನಮ್ದೇ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯನ್ ದಾನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿಲಿಜಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಶೋಕ, I told you in his kingdom, although like he was a Buddhist, okay, he followed other religions. Like he allowed people to follow other religions as well. You see, like his father's sect was Ajivikas. Okay. His father's sect. Okay, Achivikas. Okay, so like you see them. Okay, he although like he is a Buddhist, he is Buddhist, right? So you see him like okay for Achivikas also he provides funds so like they can construct caves. Okay, so like this you can see. So like other things also. Okay, so with respect to Brahmins as well, you will see that okay Ashoka giving them fund. Okay, so what should be the answer for this question? Ashoka. Okay. Any doubt here? No. There is one more question. Yeah. So, in which one of the following reliefs sculpture inscription is Rana Ashoka, King Ashoka mentioned along with the stone portrait of Ashoka? There is only one place. Okay. So, which has like stone portrait. Which is that place? It's in Gulbarga district. Okay. So Chittapur taluk. Yeah. I was not aware like it was in Chittapur taluk. I knew like okay it is in Gulbarga district. Okay. I got curious like okay which taluk, and I thought you people must be knowing where is Chittapur taluk. So from here like what must be the distance? 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers. Huh? You travel on this route usually?
See that portrait.
Actually, you will travel. Okay, hopefully. No, like there are a lot of things that can be traveled in this near vicinity. Okay, so
Go through the train and we pass through the road.
Acha, like when you go through train, like you'll pass through this taluk. Okay. Oh, nice. Can you see like this is a cave? Okay, why I took specifically like this is Barbara caves. Okay, the caves were also constructed during olden times. Okay, like caves, use Badami caves Karnataka ತುಂಬಾ famous. Okay, so like it's not the first time when the caves are constructed. Even during the olden times as well, the caves are being constructed. Okay, can you see like okay, cave is constructed here. Okay, so like see the beauty of cave. Why I took this picture is can you see like this is a person. This is a reflection of person on reflection ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So what does this tell you? This tells you that okay, so like the even the caves inside of the caves, okay, so like that have been really polished and kept really well. Okay, so like cave construction properly for like these saints or like for like this religious purpose. Okay, they started being constructed from the period of Mauryas. Okay, so you can see like the carver skill here. ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಗುಡ್ಡದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲ್ರಿ ಓಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಶಾಡೋ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಶೈನಿಂಗ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ okay so like here is the person here is the okay so like reflection of him. Okay, so like this dynasty is also important for like that you can see here. Okay, so like there is a portrait of like this national emblem. Okay, so like this national emblem, it has been like okay, see, this Ashoka had this habit of creating the pillars. Okay, so like pillars ಹೇಗಳಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ there used to be a shaft. Okay, so like then can you see this like this is nothing but like lotus base, isn't it lotus base but inverted lotus base, lotus in the ulta madi. Okay, so like now it is looking like a lotus. Okay, so like this is called lotus base, this is called abacus. Okay, this is called capital figure. Capital figure only, so like in this case like it is lion. Yeah, in this case it is lion, so like capital figure can be other things as well, so like this is called like capital figure. Take the are tool
Hello.
Hmm. Shall we start? Okay. Where did we stop last?
Three questions.
We have attempted questions. Okay. So can you answer me? So where is Dowli and Jogada now? Bega, we have to revise a lot. Come on. Dowli and Jogada. They are like nothing but UPSC PYQ. You should be knowing that. Yeah, it is there in Odisha. So which is the place that was there in Karnataka? Ulta. It is Sannati. Okay. So what about Maharashtra? There was a place. Sopara. Okay. Where is Girnar? Yeah, no.
Gujarat.
Gujarat. Okay. There is Girnar National Park as well. Okay. And Girnar National Park is the only park. Okay. So only national park which is a home to Asiatic lions. So environment is also like crucial part of your preparation. You'll get good amount of questions, and like, there is Girnar inscription as well. Okay, so you must have heard very old lake. Okay, that lake name is Sudarshana Lake. It is supposed to be constructed by a person called Chandragupta Maurya. Later, it was repaired by a person called Ashoka. Okay, and in first century AD, there comes a person, a Shaka ruler. Okay, so Shakas, we are not going to cover it so deeply. Okay, so like Shaka ruler. Okay, so his name is Rudradaman. Okay, so like in that Girnar inscription is there. Okay, so within that Girnar inscription, he also claims, okay, Sudarshan Lake getting repaired by him. Actually, one time there was a huge storm that completely destroyed this Sudarshan Lake. Okay, all the mantris or all the advisors. Okay, so like kings irtare and advisors irtare. Even present day allu kuda you must be knowing prime minister won't be alone. Okay, he'll be having lot of advisors. So like there is one economic advisor presently who is making lot of noise. I mean lot of sound. Like we can't say noise. Okay, so like lot of sound by giving lot of statements. Okay, through media you must be knowing. Okay, heard about him. Okay, so go and read about it. Okay, because things are connected. You have seen that? No, seen him? No. So like chief economic advisor. Okay, so like chief economic advisor to prime minister. Okay, so he has been making a lot of sound with respect to judiciary. Okay. He posed up a question. Why, like, have you seen court? Ever visited court? Visited court? Went inside. So, do you know how advocates judge the, like, how advocates call the judges? How?
Yeah.
Your Honor or my Lord. So, he said, we are all citizens of a democracy where, like, okay, everyone is equal. How come your profession should be called as my lords? Valid question. Okay, so he has like opened up so many questions. Hospitals doesn't get closed. Some doctors will take rest. Some other doctors will come in place of them, and they will continue. Police doesn't close. Some police take rest. Like even if they want to take vacation, like there will be some other police. How come judiciary will take rest? You know how many days in India judiciary will work? It works for 185 days. I mean 180 to 210 days. So that's the amount of work which will be engaged by judiciary in a year. So what does that mean? How many days like it's not working? So half of the year, no? So like he has posed up a question: how come judiciary should take up take up that many holidays? The thing is, I have heard a judgment. I have heard a answer for this question. So, which was given by earlier Chief Justice. His name is like D.Y. Chandrachud. He has D.Y. Chandrachud. Okay, so like he was ex CJA of India, Chief Justice of India. he has given like when again a brilliant personality. Okay, so like you should listen to their talks. Just open like YouTube. Very young as well. 65. Yeah, so retiring age is 65. Like by looking at them, you'll never feel like 65. Like looking at their energy, you'll never feel they are 65. And they would have maintained themselves. This is so well maintained. Okay, so he was asked the same question. Okay, how come judiciary takes so many holidays? He has given the answer. Okay, so judiciary takes so many holidays because holidays, during holidays, like we'll read up a lot. That helps us to give judgment. Okay, so like this, some judicial cases that can't be given or pronounced judgment without like okay going into the details and depth of the that specific cases. So that's why, like for judiciary, it is necessary to take that many holidays. That's the answer that was given. Now, like this question has been posed again. Maybe someone from judiciary fraternity they will come up, or they might actually give logical answer. Like we are going to wait for it. Or if there are going to be any changes, how the judges are like need to be called. Let's wait for that. Okay, so whether what do you think? Like they should they be called my lord or your honor? Like they should be just called sir. Sir is sufficient. Huh? Huh? My lord is not okay. So, but like, if you see the Supreme Court judgment, okay, so like you will definitely see that judges are getting called my lord. In its earlier case, okay. So I mean, when Britishers were like ruling India, so like even in Britishers, like they still call their judges like my lord. When they came, like they came up with this system. Again, they have left. We are continuing with this system. Okay, so whether like we need to change it or not, it's a debatable question. Okay,
Because of the situation, they call us
because of the
case ಹಾಕಿದವರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಬೇಕಂತ
loud and the correct. So one of the like logic, so that is true. So why one of the again one of the person was commenting. So it ಹೇಗ್ ಬಂತು like the origin of why like they are getting called as Lord, because like they're trying to give judgment. Okay, so without taking any stand, they're not doing any favor to anyone. So just like how God will be impartial, okay, how God just see the aspects or like truthness of the case and gives the judgment. So like they are nothing but like okay, so doing that role here in the earth. So that's why like they are called Lord. But don't know, so to what extent you can agree with this thought? There's a good chance like you can disagree as well. So because you can say that it's nothing but duty. One should abide to his duty. Okay, not because like one is getting called Lord, because it's just his duty. So like there can be again pros and cons.
No one is calls him as Lord outside the
Outside the court, yeah, definitely they won't be called my lord. So only when they are sitting in the judge chair, so that's when like they will be getting called as like my lords. So but again, so this like recent new controversy that's been going on. So whether like you agree with the okay, chief economic advisors so questions which has been posed by him, or so you can be in favor of the judiciary and say that like okay, whatever the judiciary is doing right now, so it's the right thing. It depends. Like you can take a stand, and for that, like again, you have to dig up more information. Okay, so where like what is the history of this? Okay, so like as I have told history, let's go back to history. Okay, so like because this is a contemporary issue and the issue of current affairs. Okay, so like that's why like we'll go back to the history. Okay, and see the thing is UPSC preparation or competitive exam preparation is such that like you can't prepare anything in silos. If you're reading history, you have to connect geography. Without geography, how can you understand history properly? Without economy, how can you understand history properly? Anything that has happened in the world, okay, which can be the prime cause? Think. The prime cause will always be economy. जो भी होता है पैसे के लिए होता है भाई. Okay, so don't you think anybody wants to pollute the environment? Normally, ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So, do you want to pollute the environment? No. Why would you want to pollute the environment? It's a bad thing, no? So, do you want to pollute the environment? No, you don't want to. Okay, so like that's a bad thing, you know it. So, why do you think like the farmers do still cause environmental pollution by stubble burning? That's one of the main causes that what do you say? That has like too much problem for Delhi, air pollution. Okay, so that's happening because of the stubble burning problem. Okay, so like if they ask, like okay, if you ask them individually, farmers don't want to do that. Farmers don't want to like pollute the environment. They have to do it because the circumstances are as such. Whenever like something comes up, it's always economy that trumps other things. Okay, other things are costlier. Okay, so like stubble burning is easier, cheaper. Okay, it's always the cheaper thing. See, there is water problem. Correct. So like you see, even in this belt, most of the people does grow which crop? Paddy. Okay. So paddy is the main important crop that is grown in this region, right? So why do people grow paddy? Isn't it water intensive crop? Don't you think like it will be more beneficial for the environment when it comes to like if they grow millets? Still people will grow paddy. Why they do that? This especially Raichur belt is famous for paddy, right? So I don't know about like Gulbarga region, but like Raichur belt is famous for paddy. Okay, so why do they do it? Although like it's a water intensive crop economy, जिसमें ज्यादा पैसा मिलता है उसको करते हैं लोग. Okay, so this is individual level, which I am giving example for. Now, like just upgrade the scaling. Okay, why wars would have happened? To control most fertile lands, most fertile regions. Why British came to India and like then conquered India? Economy, paisa chahiye. Okay, so economy will be the prime cause for like most of things like that steers the world. Okay, steers is like wheels. Okay, steering and all. Okay, if you drive, you will know. Okay, what I'm talking. Okay, so like it's okay, not that important. The thing is, it's economy. See the most important causes. It always economy trumps other things. Economy can play a very crucial role. You need to understand that. Okay, so shall we continue? Okay, like one more thing which we need to talk about is where we have left. Yeah, and like this, I won't be able to like again explain everything here because the information is given here. Okay, you will get the PDF. You'll try to know. Okay, so like these are called dhammas. DHA MMA. Okay, Dhamma. Ashoka's Dhamma. Okay, they are like different from religious messages. Okay, these are the see with respect to religion, the people of like the people in the Ashokan period, they had the chance to okay, so like follow any of the religion they wanted. Correct. Okay, so when it comes to Dhammas, okay, so like he wanted people to follow the Dhammas. Actually, like these are nothing but major rock edicts. Okay, in few of the rock edicts, so he wants to give the information with respect to Dhammas. Okay, he wanted the citizens of the that Mughal dynasty to follow these Dhammas. So like again, so the question which you can expect from here is like what are Dhammas? What are Ashoka's Dhammas? Few of the Dhammas, and how like okay Ashoka's Dhammas have present day relevance. Okay, so एक example दे दूँ. Okay, so you can understand better. So okay. Ban festival gatherings and killings of animals. Okay, see, there is a thing. Indians do spend a lot when it comes to festivals and marriages. Do anyone know? So, what is how much Indian marriage industry cost a year? Approximate figures. It's 45 billion USD, US dollars. Again, so just for your information, 1 billion is 8,500, 8,700 crores. So based on the, like, okay, so conservative figures, 8,000 crores. 10 billion is 80,000 crores. Okay, 45 billion is 3.2 plus 4, like 3 lakh 60,000 crores. Okay. Maths ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. Okay, it keeps you engaging. I thought like you will answer it before me. So it's a competition, no? Once I asked the question, like conservative figure, like 45 into 80. So what should be the answer? ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗಿನು. ಓಕೆ, ಇರ್ಲಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ like 3,60,000. That's what I told. That's what I told, no? So like 3,60,000 crores. So that's 1 year marriage industry, India ಒಳಗೆ. Can you understand? We spend so much. Is it necessary that like we have to spend this much? Not just marriages. Like take the any festivals, gatherings. Okay. बेफिजूल खर्चा करते हैं.
Dead bodies also.
Nowadays, birthday parties also getting traction. People want to spend so much on the birthday parties as well. Okay, so like here's the questions. क्या necessary है? Why you want to do it? After taking, okay, so like loan from someone else. Most of the marriages in India that happens, like okay, where people take so much of loan and they throw a huge party for other people, which like the people will talk only for 3-4 days and forget it. That's what happens, no? That's what has been happening. He says that, okay, क्यों करना है भाई इतना खर्चा? Why do you want to spend this much? Don't spend. Okay, so don't you think like it has Sunday relevance? Okay, unnecessary killing of animals. क्यों करना है? Okay, be tolerant. So like this, okay, so like go through this, like, and I told you, like he actually the Ashokan dynasty, okay, or Mauryan dynasty came like controlled only up to Karnataka. Okay, so like below Karnataka, you must have seen the map. Okay, so like it wasn't considered as part of Ashokan dynasty or Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like in this second, okay, major rock edicts itself, he mentions it. Cholas, Pandyas, and Satyaputras and Cheras. Okay, they were present. Okay, in this, like it means like 3rd century BC. Our time only. Okay, so like that place, present day Tamil Nadu and Kerala was not controlled by Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so like go through it once. Okay, there is nothing to explain. But again, the question you can expect from here is, okay, so like what are Ashoka's Dhamma? Okay, so what are Ashoka's Dhammas? Dhammas are like messages to the citizens of the Mauryan dynasty that everyone had to follow. Okay, so and so like these Dhammas, it could reach to all the people. He actually appointed the people called Dhamma Mahamatas. Dhamma Mahamatas. Okay. You can see here, like, okay, that second rock edict talks about like 3 dynasties, okay, that were present, okay, that are not part of Ashokan dynasty, okay. So like that is Cholas, Satyaputras, or like Pandyas. These are the rock edicts, okay. So like 14 rock edicts. Isko again make a table. Okay, remember it. Questions will come from here. Okay, especially like other exams में तो like यहाँ से question आने का बहुत ज़्यादा chances है. SSC and all. Okay, so be attentive. These kind of things. So that's it. And see, we have seen like the rock edicts, right? We have seen the rock edicts. Okay, so like the rock edicts and the pillar inscriptions. Okay, which have been given by Ashoka. So like the question is in which language it was compiled. In which language it was composed. So we find that, okay, so like they used a lot of languages and like lot of scripts as well. They used Brahmi, Kharosthi, Aramic, and Greek script. Okay, so like also like the Prakrit, Sanskrit, and Aramic language as well. Okay, Prakrit is a like local dialect. Okay, so that has been used, and also okay, so like this Sanskrit language has also been used according to Mauryan administration, that is given in the book Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra. So like he says, like Raja should be okay. So what do you say? Composed based on the 7 elements. They are called like Saptangas. Okay, 7 angas of the Rajas. Okay, so like one is Swami. So like he again, Swami is nothing but king. King is the most important aspect. Okay, so like here, Arthashastra tells that, okay, so how king should be. Okay, so like king should be very careful, and king should be like, okay, when it comes to protecting his life, he has to be very careful. You know, like the kings of Mauryan administration, they had women bodyguards. This is confirmed by, again, like Megasthenes Indica book. They had women bodyguards. This is confirmed by like Megasthenes Indica book. Okay. So again, you can imagine like, okay, so like the role given to women back then, bodyguards. Okay. So like that's important position, no? Okay. So like being bodyguards to, what do you say, like king himself, the most important person in that, okay, administration. It means women were like not considered as a weak gender. Okay, like these are few of the examples. Okay, so like king, he is the most important person. Okay, so like then amatyas, okay, are like amat, like they are called as amatyas. R is written. So like these amatyas are like ministers. Okay, so like I told you about Damna Muhammadas. Okay, so like they are like one type of amatyas. Okay, all the ministers compiled into like this group of amatyas. Okay, so like Dhamma Mahamatas. Okay, so like they are one type of Mahamatas. Okay, so like there will be like some person who will be collecting taxes. Okay, so like for example, like there are Sannidata, Sangrihitri. Okay, so these kind of people like who will be in charge of collection of taxes, collection of treasury, okay, assessment of the like okay, our assessment of taxes. Okay, all these people like okay, we're given different responsibilities. There are like different types of people. Okay, different types of administrators that are present. Okay, so like then there is something called kosha. Kosha is like treasury. ओके सो लाइक देश चलने के लिए पैसा चाहिए. ओके यहाँ पे अगेन किंगडम चलने के लिए, ओके डायनेस्टी चलने के लिए, सो लाइक दे नीड मनी अगेन, सो लाइक दैट विल कम फ्रॉम कोशा. Okay, so like then there is bala is nothing but army, so we will come across that. So like different again so different department of the army was present. Okay, there was cavalry, there was infantry. Okay, infantry is like foot soldiers. Cavalry is like one who were controlling horses. There was one wing which were controlling elephants. Okay, so and Megasthenes also writes that. Okay, although Arthashastra doesn't write about this, so like the navy was also present in the Mauryan army. Okay, Megasthenes writes about it. Okay, so like then there is Durg. Durg is fort. Okay, so you know that there is a place called Chitra Durga. Durga is nothing but fort. So like for a king during back then, okay, during olden times, so it was important, like they had a fort. They needed to have a fort. Okay, so like then there is Mitra. Okay, Mitra is alive. So like he gives different examples. Okay, whom you can make friends. Okay, whom you can keep as your enemies. Okay, so like Arthashastradalli, again, all of these things are like dealt in very much detail. Okay, so he says that if your what do you say, like if your opponent is too strong, okay, so don't fight him. Okay, so if your opponent is strong, too strong, if you want to fight him, okay, take help of someone else, then fight him. See, if your opponent is too strong, you go to fight him, so he is going to crush you. I can't even look back. So imagine like okay, so like a skinny guy going against like okay, hunk, he'll get crushed. But like there is a chance of defeating that hound. You have to play to your brain. Okay, so like make such allies. Okay, that will come to your aid. Okay, so I mean, so might look cowardly, but very practical. Might look cowardly. Okay, so like how, like why shouldn't you be brave and get killed? Yeah, you can get killed. There's nothing wrong in it. Huh?
I think it's not on this.
Yeah, like there is a difference between being brave and being stupid. Okay, if you win, you're called brave, bro. Okay, it's simple. Like how the world judges you. If you win, you're called brave. If you lose, you're called stupid. क्या है like okay कुछ दिमाग से सोचता नहीं है. Okay, so that will be the usual dialogue. Okay, so that will come out. Okay, win. If you want to win, like okay, if you want to achieve, win. So like if you don't want to get called stupid, so win. Be brave. Okay, so like then like okay, you'll be called wow, what courage. Right? I mean, see, this example is also somewhat like that. You know, like other people, you know, will be like choosing the much safer options, like going for like either masters or going for already somewhat petty settled jobs. So like see, getting job in private sector to certain extent it's easier. अवेलेबल, पॉसिबल, ओके, सबको मिलता है, कुछ सिर्फ थोड़ा मेहनत करने का जरूरत है, लेकिन मिल जाता है, करेक्ट। बट यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है, हियर it's a competitive world. Okay, here like you have to be on your mark. Yeah. So other people after 2 3 years once you start preparing, so like if you win, say, "Arey wo," like how good he was. So that will be the usual dialogue, no? So but if you don't win, दिमाग से सोचता नहीं था भाई, इसलिए मतलब ऐसा कुछ काम कर दिया, and like that's why like he is positioned right now where he is. Usual dialogue, right? So that's why it is said that, okay, there is a fine line between stupid and brave. Okay, that line decides. So how you are taking that? Okay, be brave, never be stupid. I always allow like okay, I always want you people to be courageous. Like there is one quote, beautiful quote. Genius is rare in the world. Okay, genius, something genius or like genius kind of people that is rare in the world. Like the quote still continues. You know what? Still further more rare. That is bravery, or like that is courage. People are not courageous. Okay, coming here, thinking about something else, it takes courage from you people. Okay, from people watching online, it takes courage definitely. Like they are also my audience. I have to cater to them as well, and they'll feel like okay alienated if not. Okay, world is connected, interconnect. Okay, so like I can't okay not look at them and not talk to them. Okay, so like they will be like sir हमसे बात नहीं करते हैं. Okay, ये क्या एक ऐसे क्लास सुनाते हैं. No, it's fine. Okay, I already talked about Shatru a lot. Okay, so like Shatru is nothing but enemy. Okay, so like your enemy's enemy is your friend. So like now find, okay, so who is that relative that was tormenting you? So like there will be like some other relative, okay, who will be like who also got tormented by like that person. Okay, so like find that common relative. Okay, so who is tormenting like all the relatives? Then like okay, tell that relative or like tell that friend. So like they close go. Okay, so that's how you can play safe. Okay, like you can weak your enemy, but without actually like doing or being directly in the battlefield. Okay, so like then there are important officials as well. Okay, so important officials like the mama matas we have talked about this. Okay, so like that's one is Mahartra. Okay, so like one who was in charge of assessment. Okay, second is like Sannidhata. Sannidhata is like treasury custodian. Okay, so matlab one who is like in charge of the all the money that's been collected. Okay, so amongst these two people, okay, so like assessment and treasury custodian. So whose mistake is considered too much harmful for the state? How like you can connect to the history? I will tell you. दिखाता हूँ अभी. Okay, see, Samarthra is one who is in charge of assessment. Okay, so like this Sannidhata, so like one who is in charge of custodian. Like it means, let's just imagine you're a peasant. Okay, so like you are a trader. Let's give different roles. Okay, so like you need to pay some taxes to me. Okay, you need to pay some taxes to me. Okay, so I am the one. Let's imagine I am the one. Okay, so who is trying to assess your land? Okay, and trying to assess your business, and I actually like incur some charges on you. Okay, that's what you have to pay. Okay, so that amount is collected and like that is kept with like some other person, like the one who is absent in today's class. Okay, so like let's imagine like it's kept with her. Okay, so who do you think like whose mistake will be harmful for the state? My mistake or like the person who is having more money, like who is having money. See, this Sannidata is like treasury. Okay, all the taxes that's collected by the state. Okay, it is there with this person, Sannidata. So like he can take out the money from there, no? So like his mistake. Okay, so like that can also be harmful for the state. Okay, so but imagine if you have 5 acres. Okay, in my assessment, I'm taking some money. Okay, and I'm just actually showing in my records. You just have 1 acre. Okay, you'll have to only pay taxes for 1 acre. Imagine like you are doing business for 500 rupees. I'm showing like you are doing business for only 100 rupees. Okay, so I will have to like show like you will just have to pay taxes for 100 rupees, no? Instead of 500 rupees. And like this, you're not paying only one time tax. You're also not giving only one time tax. So like yearly dena padta hai. Okay, so but like this will keep continuing, no? This assessment problem that will keep continuing. Correct. So that's why like it makes sense to understand that like the mistakes made by this Samahartri, okay, that is considered more harmful for the state. Like presently like black money that is tormenting Indian state too much. Okay, so like there like you can connect this how like improper assessment and how improper collection. Okay, so both can be harmful. So like but the more harmful thing will be improper assessment. Like a lot of Bollywood celebrities, lot of what do you say? A lot of Bollywood celebrities, a lot of politicians. Okay, they create hawala companies. Okay, assessment thara in foreign countries, some other countries, they'll get a lot of money. They'll never pay tax on that. Is it right? India lose so much because of that. We are such a like so much poverty population that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be catered for basic needs like education, health, housing. Okay, even drinking water is a problem for many of the places. See, like India as a whole, so like the problems are plenty. Amongst all these things, like just imagine like someone is like cheating the state. It's very hard thing, no? Very difficult thing. Understand? Okay, so like this summer class, if you make an assessment wrong, okay, that can be harmful for the state for a very longer time. Okay, so like then there are like Shulka Dekshas and Sita Dekshas. Sita Deksha is like one who is in charge of the royal land. Okay, so like that one is like this is not Nagaraja. This has to be Nagarika. Don't know how it got. Okay, Nagarika is nothing but like okay municipal officer. Okay, Besaj is physician. Okay, how the society was you can understand. So like we have come across four varnas. Which are those varnas? Vedic time only. Come on. Think. Four varnas have the three. Vedic time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು. Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So like now, along with the Shudras, like there is one more varna, which is further fall like lower than the Shudras. They are called like Chandelas. Chandelas. Okay. So like they are also called as Antavasins. Sometimes like the life of people in the olden times it was such a horrible thing, when foreigners came to India, so like they have seen this, like this actually there is a person called Fa Hen and Huyen Stang who came into the court of Chandragupta II. Fa Hen came into the court of Chandragupta II and Huyen Stang came into the court of Harshavardhana. Okay, so these people they were perplexed by seeing the things that was happening in India. Okay, so like these people, like the Chandelas or the Antavasins, when they used to come, okay, so because they should never be touched, no, they're like treated that badly. Chandelas, they used to come with a complete one big, what do you say, one big stick. When they are walking with like stick like that, so other people won't be able to come near to them, and like other people won't be able to touch them. Now like this you need to understand and connect it to the history, the point why some people does require reservation. Life was not same for everyone. Why, like, okay, so whenever you come across this debatable topic, it's definitely a debatable topic. Okay, and I feel like as a civil servant, okay, so you shouldn't take a stand at least against reservation, because like the starting line is not same for everyone. Now presently ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, okay, so like presently the thing is, okay, so this this is the start, this is the starting line. It's a race of 100 meters. You should start, okay, so like because like this end line is same. Okay, then there is no point of reservation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. But what they are failing to understand is this starting line cannot be same, not for everyone. For some, like the starting line will be this. Imagine like okay, women's. Okay, so like they are saying like even they needs to be successful, but like there is dual burden. Correct. Women, like even after getting a job, she also take care of household works. Okay, so like then there is a glass ceiling. We have talked about the glass ceiling. Okay, so like women won't be like promoted after like certain point. So that is glass ceiling. Okay, so that is there. They still further came back. Okay, someone like starting line at here, someone starting line at here. So just because like the end line is same, so like they say like the reservation shouldn't be given. That's not true. Sometimes like it becomes necessary why like reservation should be given. Okay, so like and India has like a really bad history. Okay, so like there is one person called Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, who considered like these untouchables as not part of Hindu religion at all because of the like atrocities was faced by them. Okay, so not going to talk about that. Okay, so like this used to be the condition. Okay, so like these people used to be called as Antavasins, Chandelas. Okay, and like slavery was also existed. Okay, so again you can understand like this Mauryan dynasty was definitely beautiful. Okay, so this person, the Megasthenes, who has written a book called Indica. So when he saw the like okay, so like this Mauryan administration, he was like really thoroughly impressed. He writes that like slavery doesn't exist, but we know for sure like slavery did exist. Okay, in Arthashastra's Kautilya, like okay, Kautilya's Arthashastra. So like they have written about like slavery. Okay, so slaves did exist. Okay, and why Megasthenes might not have mentioned or why he might not have come across slavery? There's a reason. Okay, he is nothing but ambassador of like Seleucus Nicator that came into the court. Okay, once they comes, our present day imagine Madi. Okay, so like foreign diplomat coming from USA, UK, France, or all. Okay, so will they mostly visit the like hinterland or the countryside, or will they just visit the like okay parliament and like those places? Ambassadors like ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಕ್ಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ? Parliament ಅಥವಾ like president ಮನೆ. Okay, so like that's where like they will stay, right? Or like within their embassy. Okay, they won't have the time to like go through all the places. Here like okay, Megasthenes is also, he is also ambassador of Seleucus Nicator who came into the court of Chandragupta Maurya. So when he came, like because like he just stayed in the royal court palace ಅಲ್ಲಿ, maybe he might not have come across slaves. So that's why he writes that like there was no slavery. But Arthashastra person who was on the road, okay, so like he might be knowing better, no? Like the real land. Okay, so like that's why like Chanakya writes that. Okay, so like Kautilya writes that like there was slavery that was existed, and UPSC also has asked a question about slavery. Okay, so like this itself can become a important topic. Okay, so can we finish off this Mauryan dynasty? So like has it talked to you? Like okay, so got a picture what this dynasty, what are these people? And only one thing which I have mentioned is okay, how this person like okay, Ashoka, he became a Buddhist. Okay, so like he became a Buddhist because of a important war called Kalinga War. Kalinga Varali. So Kalinga is a place. It is in Orissa. Okay. So I think okay. Let me show the map. It's better to show the map. Yeah. Can you see? So Magadha. So Kalinga. Kalinga is port city. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ like this place Kalinga. Okay, so what happened was like again like the traders of this dynasty were like okay getting looted by Kalinga. Okay, that prompted a war between Kalinga and Mauryas. Okay, the king of Maurya, like it is his responsibility to protect his people, right? So like they were getting like looted by like this Kalingas. Okay, so like that led to a war, and in that war it is mentioned that 150,000 people got killed. Okay, and that moved Ashoka a lot. He writes that okay, so if you read like second rock pillar inscription, so there he writes that Okay, it's not just the death of soldiers that moved me. Anyway, soldiers died. Okay, so along with the death of the soldiers, the people like the families of the like soldiers that also got destroyed. Okay, imagine like okay, whenever a soldier dies, okay, it's very unfortunate happened, unfortunate incident. It's not just the loss of the soldier. Imagine like the family of the soldiers that has to go through. Present day kuda like you can connect it, right? So like they will be devastated. It's not loss of one life. It's loss of such a like whole family members can get devastated. Okay, he saw that like because of this Kalinga war, okay, that led to such a huge bloodshed. He moved. Okay, and that's when like he before that he was a very cruel guy, Ashoka. Okay, and after this war, that has changed him. Okay, he accepted Buddhism. Okay, he gave like the Beri Gosha and accepted Dhamma Gosha. Beri Gosha is he wanted to conquer the whole world through wars. That is Beri Gosha. Dhamma Gosha is now he wants to conquer the world, not through the wars, through Dhammas. That's why, like I told you, like there are like his son and daughter, Mahinda and Sangamita. Like they were sent to other places, Sri Lanka, China. Why they were sent? Okay, the reason is like okay, this Dhamma Gosha can be propagated to other places. Understood? Okay, so everything clear? Okay, so at least two topics. Okay, Jainism, Buddhism, Mauryan dynasty. That you should never forget. Okay, so like this is not just the details that can be given in the NCERT. I have covered like far more information than what's covered in NCERT. Okay, so I hope you remember all these things. Okay, so like Upender Singh has written at least like 200 250 pages with respect to Mauryas. I told you like Upender Singh is a daughter of Manmohan Singh. Okay, she has written a book. She's a professor, present day Kuda, like Delhi University. Ali. Competitive exam like why the people of North India gets advantage. So like one who is like learning history from Delhi University, like they would be learning from the author of this book. Okay. I mean, that gives them a confidence as well, no? Forget about the knowledge. Like, you can also read the same book and you can, like, know much better than them. But inside you, like, there will be, like, one path. Okay, see, there is a problem. Like, okay, so when it comes to being in tier 2 city or tier 3 city, so like this Gulbarga, or like being in tier 1 cities like Bangalore and Delhi, so like there is a problem of exposure even when you move out. So one part of you will be like, what if I don't belong here? Okay, that will always be there, right? But you should come out of it. You should make up your mind in such a way that, okay, so like other external circumstances where you are shouldn't matter. Because I mean, I have also been in that place. Okay, so like I have moved to Delhi. I have been in Delhi. Okay, I have done law from BHU, Banaras Hindu University, that is in Varanasi. Okay, so the thing is, like, but still, okay, after like even such amount of exposure, so like you can still feel okay, so like left out just because like you are coming from a tier 2 or tier 3 city. No, you need not be. Okay, through my experiences, okay, what can I tell you is it doesn't matter. Okay, so one who has more exposure, so like there can be negative as well. There will be a lot of expectations from them. Okay, so like expectations can pull you down sometimes. Okay, so that's why. So it's your mind that you need to control. Okay, it doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. That's what matters. Okay, so you don't need to get perplexed or flabbergasted when you move out. So like moving out or like change is the law of nature, law of life. Okay, change is the only constant that will keep happening in your life. So like forget about the exposure. No, it doesn't matter. Like people preparing from Delhi or like some other city doesn't matter. Okay, so like you should be mentally strong enough to understand the needs of the exam and move ahead. Okay, so like I see today's class will take up to 2 बजे तक Okay. Yesterday also we took up to 2. Okay. So आज भी like 2 बजे तक. Unnecessary as well. Okay. So like because after Mauryan's, like we'll be a bit quicker. Like once we finish off Mauryan's. Okay. Because like those aspects that can be covered in the advanced classes as well. Okay. So but you're getting a sort of picture. I want you to understand okay how ancient India and medieval India was within these 6 days. Okay, so like now, and also like see, first day will always go in you getting adjusted to my pace, my way of explanation. Okay, once you are adjusted, I can move ahead, move faster. So compared to yesterday's class, like we have covered lots of content today. Okay, compared to first day class, definitely we would have like, covered lots of content today. Okay, so like we cannot actually like skip ahead directly to third day class. Okay, so like that was also needed so that like you can get comfortable and you can understand whatever I am speaking. Okay, so it makes sense, like things are connected. Okay, so that's it. And the only thing we need to see here is okay, where is it? Yeah. So like that process was fault. How like such a dynasty came to an end. Okay. So one of the reason is like Brahminical reaction. We know like from okay. So like with respect to Buddha's life, sorry, with respect to Ashoka's life. Okay, he turned himself into Buddhism. Okay, so for Buddhism, he has done so much. Okay, he has done so much for Buddhism. Okay, so like I told you, like when he visited Lumini, okay, so he reduced the taxes. Okay, so like the voluntary taxation, he completely stopped it. Okay, so like usually like the tax rate, so that was available in this Mauryan dynasty was 1/6. He reduced this to 1/8. What is 1/6? How much percentage? So maths ಮಾಡಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ 100 na 6 parts will divide ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ how much you will get like 16.6%. Okay. So like 100 na 8 part ಆಗಿ divide ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ huh? 12 into 8 so 12.5. 12 into 8 96 4 like again 8 part 0.5. Okay, 12.5. Okay, so maths ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆದ್ರೂ ಬೇಕು. Okay. This again just to show off I can calculate as well. Okay, so like not important. Okay, so like the point here is this 12.5%. Okay, so like it has been reduced, no, like the people like okay will have to pay like less taxes in Lumbini compared to other places in the Mauryan administration. Okay, Mauryan dynasty. Okay, you understood about this point. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so like one of the reason is like Brahminical reaction. Okay, so like these Brahmins didn't get the patronage, although like Ashoka gave them equal patronage, but still, okay, so like Brahminical reaction. So like then like the financial crisis. Okay, so I told you Ashoka constructed 84 according to Ashoka Vadana. Ashoka has been given what do you say? Like Ashoka has been recognized to construct 84,000 stupas. 84,000 stupas. How can he construct that much? It will incur a lot of revenues. Okay, so like that he would have to divert it from something else. No, he must have diverted this from like okay army military. Okay, and also we know that okay Ashoka okay started to go for Dhammagosha instead of Berigosha. Okay, so like from after this Kalinga war, he didn't fight any war. So army also would have got trusted, no, because there is no war, and they would have actually been very what do you say relaxed. Okay, so then like there are oppressive rulers, like they are called Dushta Amatyas. Okay, see, it's not just important that ministers should be like doing their work. It's also important that so like your officers, okay, the Tahsildar, okay, IAS, administrative officers, police officers, even they should do their work. Okay, whenever like even they are, if they are not also not doing their work, then people will get angry. Isn't it true? Okay, so like here same. So some of the like administrators they got like they became okay oppressive. Okay, and like there were attacks from outsiders and insiders. From insiders, we know for sure Pushyamitra Sunga. Okay, the guy who actually killed the last ruler of Mauryan dynasty, that is Brihadrata. Okay, so like this makes the end of Mauryan dynasty. Okay, any doubts? It's not a break. Okay, so just 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes so you can go through the things with respect to Mauryan dynasty, and we'll further continue because it's important to complete until Sangam period. Okay. Okay. 2 more minutes so I can take some breathe. Okay. Only for that, and also you can revise. We'll cover so like few dynasties like that followed post Mauryas. And see, Mauryas like you need to deal it in a detailed manner. Guptas you need to do it in detailed manner. Other things not so much. Even if you're like seriously preparing for UPSC also, I would suggest. So not all the dynasties equal like same kind of effort. Okay, few dynasties definitely more. Okay, so because again like continuous theme has been emerged. Okay, where like okay good number of questions can be asked from those dynasties. Guptas you'll every year get questions. Okay, same goes for like Mauryas as well. Okay, talking continuously for 3 4 hours is also a taxing work. If you want to know, like you can come here and speak for 5 minutes. You can revise some Mauryas. You want to do? Anyone wants to do? No, no. Okay. No, but like you must be remembering most of the facts, no? Whatever like we have discussed. Okay, so like if I tell you to name first three rulers of Mauryan dynasty, you'll be able to tell. Don't look. What's the point if you're looking and telling? Uh, you are writing. Okay. So who are the first three rulers of Mauryan dynasty? Uh, uh, Ashoka. It is true. Last ruler? Brihadrata. Okay. Continue, shall we? Okay. This again, the people who followed Mauryas. Okay. After Mauryas, in that part, okay, that is North India, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh. Okay. This part only the people continued. Okay. Were first it was Shungas. Who is the leader of Shungas? Pushyamitra Shunga. So who is the leader of like okay, so again, just like okay, what how Pushyamitra Shunga came into power? That is by killing Brihadrata. Okay, just like similar to that. So Kanvas also came into power. Kanvas again, like they were the generals who were there in the court of Shungas. Okay, and like he, like the founder of the Kanvas, he killed the like last ruler of Kanva, like last ruler of Shungas. That led to like okay, so Kanvas coming into power. Okay, so like this was happening like within the interiors of India, that is North India, that is in Bihar and UP. Okay, so then what is happening in the outskirts of India? Okay, there were like three dynasties that came into India. Okay, see, there is one reason. Okay, so all these three dynasty. So like this again. So as you can see, Kushnas here, like okay, you can see like Western Satrapas, right? Okay, Western Satrapas is written here. Okay, so like that is nothing but like Shakas. Yeah, this Shakas. Okay, so like they came in, like they came and like they were ruling five parts. Okay, different parts at different time. Okay, so the first people who came were Indo-Greeks or Greek Indians. Indo-Greeks. So second people who came here like Chakas. So like then third people who came here like Kushnas. Okay, so like these people, they are coming from this Middle East. Okay, like this is nothing but like present day Pakistan, Afghanistan. No, correct. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ? So like that is where like from they are coming. They were like usually like tribal groups. Okay, ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they would have gone to other places as well. Okay, but India ಒಳಗೆ they found a conducive environment. Okay, so like the strongest of the dynasty, which is Mauryan dynasty. If Mauryans were there, do you think like they would have been able to come and defeat Mauryas? No, Mauryan dynasty was like really strong. Okay, it had consisted of like large army. Okay, it wasn't possible for like these people who, when like okay Mauryan dynasty were ruling. Okay, once the Mauryan dynasty got ruled, so like then like other dynasties, okay, they were like not as powerful. Okay, so like we have seen the map of Mauryas, right? They were controlling like whole of subcontinent. So like when like Shungas were controlling, they must have controlled like this much of place. When Kanvas were controlling, they must have controlled this much of place. Okay, so like dynasty got shrunk. Okay, so you can understand this. Okay, so like and like there is no like okay, so what do you see? Stiff opposition from Indian side. Okay, for like these like okay Indo-Greeks, Shakas as well as Kushnas. Okay, that led to like okay influx of all these dynasties. Okay, so like they could have gone to other places as well, like China, but they couldn't go. So what would have been the reason like because of which like they didn't go to China, rather like they diverted their attention to India. Like there is one famous thing that is there in China that is called Great Wall of China. Okay, so like here, China, from 2nd century BC, they started constructing. Okay, so like that went on like for so many dynasties. Not like okay, only one emperor, or like okay, only one dynasty. There is one dynasty called Ming Dynasty of China. Okay, so like that, and like so many other emperors. Okay, so like that helped the building of Chinese Great Wall. Okay, see, whenever like you need to win a war, what you require, you need to have large army. See, like if they wanted to defeat Mauryans, okay, so like they needed to come up with like large army. Okay, according to the one estimate, Mauryan army consisted of 6 lakh people. Okay, according to the again estimates of Megasthenes, Mauryan army consisted of 6 lakh people. Can you understand? Okay, so like if only like hundreds of Kushna warriors or like only hundreds of Indo-Greeks, if they were coming, they will get crushed. It's not like movie. Okay, so like especially never like Telugu movie. I mean, I don't want to comment. Okay, it will go on YouTube. So otherwise, if you see movies, so like single hero will hit. So like they won't talk anything less than 1 lakh. No, like hero has to hit 1 lakh people. Okay, otherwise like how can he be called hero? But like that can't happen in real life. Correct. Okay, so like if they really want to win a war, okay, so especially against large armies, they should come up in large numbers. So here like it's not possible. How many peoples at a single time can cross like it's I'm not saying like the Great Wall of China cannot be crossed. Okay, so like can it be crossed in such large numbers in a single time? Agata, is it possible? No. They can't cross Great Wall of China. So like not in the huge numbers. Some people, okay, some brave people, okay, so they could have crossed that wall. But like how many? If the number was like hundred thousands, so do you think like the Chinese rulers wouldn't have defeated them? They would have. So like that, okay, so like let that led to, so like these people not actually entering to China. But when it comes to India, so like we didn't actually like strengthen the northwestern front. This like northwestern front, it keeps giving us like problem. Okay, so like olden times, second century BC, like okay, so like that used to give problems. Later times only. Okay, so like Arabs and Turk invasion. There is one person called Muhammad Ghazni who invaded India 17 times. Okay, so like his only idea was to plunder India. Okay, he heard of the great riches that consisted in India, and he wanted to go come and plunder. And he emerged victorious all the 17 times. Muhammad Ghazni. Okay, again coming from this side. Okay, so like again like ancient time only this problem, medieval time only that problem, present day only still there is the problem. So we have our great ally and friend here. So you must be knowing that. ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆನಾ? Who is that friend? Okay. Pakistan. Are they friends? Okay. There have been a headache like since we have done the partition. No, no, like when was the first time we fought them? Yeah, 1948 itself. That is he. I mean, neighbors cannot be friends. So this you must be knowing. You must be knowing from like either okay, so your homes or like your neighboring homes situation. Okay, neighbors cannot be friends, not that easily. Very rarely it happens that neighbors will be friends. ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, like even if you get along well with them, not your parents. Oh, it was such a headache. Okay, so that will be the common cause, no? Okay, okay. We'll come back. Okay, so yeah, 118. Okay, we still have time. No worries. I just was checking the time. It's 118. We still have time. So for 2 o'clock, within that we have to complete. And as you can see, so when the Kanvas were ruling here, okay, so like in South India, so like one dynasty was ruling. That dynasty is called Shatavahana dynasty. Okay, so like their capital was Amravati. Okay, their capital was Amravati. Okay, so like this, we have talked about this dynasty at least to a brief. Okay, so like they were there from second century BC. Okay, so like again, first we'll complete this, then we'll actually move on to the Shatavahana dynasty. Okay, so Indo-Greeks, Shakas, and Kushnas. Okay, so like this Indo-Greeks, because of the cultural context, the question you can expect here is again, so because of the cultural context, okay, that led to the cultural development in India. Okay, because of the cultural context, that led to the architectural development in India. Okay, have you heard of like there are three schools of sculptures in Indian Buddhism? Okay, so like they are actually Mathura school, okay, Gandhara school, okay, so third school is Amravati school. Amravati school is indigenous. Okay, Mathura school is also indigenous. Okay, Gandhara school is okay, taken elements from Greeks. Okay, so you must have seen the images of Buddha, where Buddha will be sitting, meditating. Okay, all in white cloths. Okay, or maybe like a drapes that will be like okay, or by Buddha. Drapes ಎಲ್ಲ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಬುದ್ಧನ ಇಮೇಜ್ ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ತಾನೆ? So that's nothing but like all those elements that come from Greeks. Like Greeks god usually like depicted like that. Okay, so like broad shoulders, very broad shoulders. Okay, so long hairs. I mean 1990s Bollywood heroes. Okay, broad shoulders. Okay, long hairs. So like there is one guy in Bollywood like okay who is also getting called as Greek god. Like he looks like a Greek actor, Hrithik Roshan. So like heard about him? No, never heard. Okay, so like people give him that credit. Okay, so not important. Okay. So anyways, where was I? Okay, so like not about Hrithik Roshan. Okay, so I was talking about Buddha, Gautam Buddha, our hero. Their hero is different. Our hero is different. Our hero is Gautam Buddha. Okay, so our hero, like okay, again broad shoulders. Okay, sitting in a meditative pose. Okay, so like wearing white drapes. Okay, so like long hairs. Like there is halo around the head. Okay, so like there is, I'm not good at diagrams. So, but again, like when he is sitting, like there is some circular things which you can see, like okay, behind his head. That is called halo. Okay, so all these elements, how did that came to like okay, Buddha's form? Buddhism was there in India. It originated in India. Okay, so like this Buddha, nothing but like was born in Nepal. Okay, so like then came and like okay, so traveled around like those two states, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So like that's where like he propagated his religion. Later, like it was spread. We know like the actions of Ashoka also. Ashoka sent his daughter and son, Mahinda and Sanghamitta, to other places. That's how like it was okay. So like spread to other regions. Right? So but like we know Buddha where like he was there, right? So like again, Buddhism was there in India. Now like okay, it propagated to other places. But, like these elements, okay, that came to India. How Buddha needs to be depicted. Okay, especially in Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, so like that was through Indo-Greek connections. Okay, and like the first people who came to India, it was Indo-Greeks. Okay, second people like Shakas. The greatest ruler of Shaka is called Rudradaman. I told you, like okay, he was the one. Okay, once like there was a huge storm. It comes along so many times in history. Okay, so like people are still finding Saraswati Lake. Okay, so I mean, according to one theory, like Indus Valley civilization was built around this Saraswati Lake. This again, I was talking about Sudarshana Lake. Okay, this Sudarshana Lake built by Chandragupta Maurya, repaired by Ashoka. Okay, later again repaired by Shaka ruler. Okay, greatest of the Shaka ruler, that is Rudradaman. Okay, so like that is in like 150 AD. Okay, the greatest of the Shaka ruler is Rudradaman. Okay, he repaired it in 150 AD. Okay, his name is Rudradaman. Okay, so he repaired that. He was there around 150 AD. Like he is considered as greatest ruler of Shakas. Okay, so like the next ruler who followed Shakas, like where Kushnas. Who is the greatest ruler of Kushna? Like can we remember like there must have happened fourth Buddhist council that led to like this Buddhism getting divided itself into Mahayana and Hinayana Buddhism. Fourth Buddhist council. Where did it have happened? Any memories? Huh? No, not in Kushinagar. Kushinagar is the place where he died. It happened in a place called Kashmir. And like who was the ruler who has given the patronage to it? The greatest ruler of Kushnas, that is Kanishka. We have talked about him, right? So he was the guy, it was the dynasty that has released huge number of gold coins. See, gold coins were like in India, first time the gold coins were like released through Indo-Greeks. But highest number of gold coins and like good quality of gold coins were like released in the period of Kanishka. So I told you like okay why like this gold chains is called as Tanishka. Tanishka T stands for Tata Group. Simple. Okay. So things are connected. Present day time. So you just need to understand those things. See again like through this cultural context, there have been a lot of things that have came to India. Okay. So you can imagine. So for example, like there is something called like this what do you say army. Okay, so like arrangement of army. Okay, so that we have learned it from like Kushnas. So like people wear usually kurtas like huduguru kuda like during ceremonial time like we wear it, but when you see the people of Afghanistan like on day-to-day basis as also like they will wear it. So like this fashion of wearing kurtis, that again came from like Kushnas. Okay, clear. Through cultural context like many of the things would have got exchanged. Okay, we would have learned few things, they would have learned few things. we have learned, okay, so how Buddha's figure should be depicted. Okay, they have learned there is something called Buddhism. Okay, so like, and they would have learned, okay, so like this Buddhism propagated like these many principles. Okay, so like this we can follow and make our lives easier. Okay, so like, and see, the difference is so many dynasties came to India. Okay, so many dynasties came to India, but what is the exact difference with respect to when Europeans came and these dynasties came? All these dynasties coming to India, they are never planning to go back to their own land. Okay, they came. Okay, so like they stayed. Okay, and they actually like became part of India. But like these idiots, okay, when they came, they never considered India as a home. Whatever like they were looting, they were always sending it to Europe. All the people, all the not just you Britishers. Like take Portuguese, take Dutch for example. All these people, okay, when they came, like okay, from 15th century, all these people never felt part of India. They always wanted to actually like go back there. India was like just a source of income for them. But like these people, they also come from outside. Okay, you see that. Okay, so like it's not the first time like other people are coming to India. Okay, so but why like okay, India's position got such devastation through after Britishers because they never felt like those idiots never felt India as a home. Chance मिले तो भाग जाना. Okay, so I mean there is a person called Robert Clive who is involved in like okay first sorry like not first the battle of Buxar. Okay, so like and like there is one more battle, the battle of Plassey, which happened in 1757. These are the two battles that gave Britishers the chance to settle in India, that gave Britishers the chance to become emperors of India. Okay, before that like they also had to struggle a lot. There were Mughals, there were Marathas, there were like okay Mysore kingdom. Okay, they were giving stiff competition. Like first time when like this Mysore kingdom. Okay, so like when Hyder Ali was ruling, so like he went and thoroughly defeated Britishers. He directly went to like Madras port, and there like the British general who was there who wanted to sign a treaty with Hyder Ali. He said, "Who are you, bro? Call your queen, call your emperor who is there in England. So like, I'm the king here. Okay, so like why should I like you are just an employee. The Britishers who came to India, who came to India, nothing but the employees of the company called like East India Company. I'm just an employee. Why should I sign a treaty with you? Call her. I mean, like it's unfortunately like okay later he also got defeated. Okay, so like the second like Anglo-Mysore war. But first battle, he won. It was not easy for the Britishers, but like two battles that really gave them the stronghold to control India. So like it was Battle of Buxar and Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey that happened in 1757 and like Battle of Buxar that happened in 1764. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Okay, when we start discussing about modern India, which is quite a bit interesting topic. So, like, it's not just modern India. It's not just like okay, leaders or some people who will come to your school on Independence Day and Republic Day and like keep telling that same story. Okay, what happened? Like, okay, 1747, we won the independence, and like, okay, on the night of the 1747, August 15, Britishers left India. And that's not the story you should know when you're preparing for this exam, like preparing for the competitive exam. Like, you should know like a lot of details. There are a lot of personalities that will come across. Like, there are a lot of events. It's not one event. Okay, you can't pinpoint one event and tell that, okay, so like the because of that, India has won freedom. Can't actually like take anybody's contribution for granted, even if they are like not directly involved. So, for example, Rabindranath Tagore might not have directly involved, but like his contribution is also important through his writings. So, imagine how many people he could have motivated. Like there is a beautiful poem, like when the held high, when the head is held high. Okay, by Rabindranath Tagore. It's also I have heard like it's also depicted in UPSC Bhavan, that is Dolpur House. The people who go for the interview or the personality test while sitting usually like they read that poem and they get inspired. I mean, like sitting for personality test for UPSC, it's a again it's a experience where you can get frightened because like there is so much to lose. There is so much to gain, there is so much to lose. So like now it's given that you will be anxious and stressful when you are just like before entering the interview hall. So like the people who usually get stressed and anxiety, anxious when like if they can like that's depicted on the wall of that UPSC Dolpur house, UPSC Bhavan Dolpur house. So they can be happy or like they can their confidence can get boosted by reading that. See, like then just Rabindranath Tagore is one of the example I gave. Like this, there are like thousands of personalities, either in the smaller role or the bigger role, that helped India gain the freedom. Okay, so why did we go? Like I wanted to tell you, like okay, all these people, they were part of India. So like they became part of India. They came from outside, still became part of India. These idiots, okay, they came, they looted, then went back. Okay, they completely devastated us, and then they went back. Yeah, so like you'll see, like there is one conservative figures according to that by the year like mid of 18th century, that is 1750s, before like these Britishers took the stronghold of India. Okay, India's contribution in the world GDP was 18%, 18 to 20%. You know what is like India's contribution to the world GDP in present day time? 3%. Before like they came, we are one of the like richest countries. We haven't recovered. 1750 in the it's like 280 years, almost 300 years ಆಗಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Still we haven't recovered. But people are saying that like it's just a blip of 300 years. So India will like reach to its position again, like in the coming next 100 years. Okay, so you can see that like okay, India is definitely improving. So when it comes to like GDP or see how many Indians are like holding the important positions, and diaspora can play a great role. Indian diaspora, you know, like 1.5% of the American population consists of Indians. हो जाए वो 4-5%. So like then let's see. So what will be the actions of the Trump? So we'll see it later. So, अभी 1.5% है इसलिए इतना बात कर रहा है ना. तो बाद में देखेंगे. So क्या बात करेगा? Okay. That's it. These are the dynasties. Got some picture with respect to these dynasties that followed Mauryas. Okay, so like two dynasties, the inside dynasties, like they are Shungas and Kanvas, like three outside dynasties. Okay, so like they are Indo-Greeks, Shakas, and Ushnas. Okay, while reading that, you also saw that while reading like this, while seeing this map, you also saw that at the same time, like there was one dynasty which was ruling South India. That dynasty is called Shatavahanas. Okay, so not all the rulers are important. Isko like don't buy it. Questions won't be asked. Okay, only few rulers are important. Like that, try to remember. Shamuka, like Simuka. So like he's known as the founder of the Shatvana dynasty. Okay, so like this Hala, because he has written a book called Gata Saptasi. Okay, so like again within the Gautamiputra dynasty, so like the most important ruler of like this Shatavahanas is like Gautamiputra Shatakarni. Okay, we'll know about like his records through ಏನ್ ಬರೀತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ Nasik inscription. Where is Nasik? Maharashtra. So like it's near to like it's not that near, but like it's still nearer. Okay. So like Nasik is there in Maharashtra. Through Nasik inscription, we'll come to know about the Gautamiputra Satakarni, the greatest ruler of Shatavahanas. Okay. So like this was again like this Nasik inscription was like written by his own mother, Gautami Balashri. This RI, SHRI, last year. Gautami Balashri. Okay. I told you. So like here, like you can see definitely. Okay, so like this, the rulers started to take their names from their mother. Okay, although patriarchal. Okay, patriarchal is okay male dominated society. Okay, rulers are all male dominated. Still, like women are getting their due respect, taking their like name from their mother lineage. So as you can see here, like Gautami Putra, Vasisti Putra. Okay, nothing but like son of Vasisti. Okay, so like this Nasik inscription, which tells the greatness of this Gautami Putra Shatakarni. So like see, like during this time, like there is Western Satrapas, like nothing but like Shakas. Okay, so like they were there, no. So like he was able to defeat the Western Satrapas. Okay, who were controlling the Gujarat region. Okay, so like that was Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Okay, so like this dynasty is important because again, see, they have like a lot of cultural contribution. We know like we have talked about like now right now we have talked about like three schools of sculptures with respect to Buddhism. Okay, Gandhara, Mathura, and Amravati. Okay, Amravati developed. Okay, Amravati school of inscription, like Amravati school of sculptures that developed because of the contribution given by like this Shatavahana dynasty. Okay, so like you see Amravati again. So the older name of Amravati is Danyakataka. Present Amravati is also known as the capital of Andhra Pradesh, right? Now, like they are again redeveloping the Andhra Pradesh as the Amravati as the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, the older name of like this Amravati city is Danyakataka. Why I am actually like telling this information out of book? Again, nothing but the question has been asked. It's a UPSC PYQ. Okay, so that's the only reason. Otherwise, I don't have any business telling like, okay, so the older name of Amravati, that is the Nakataka. Okay, so yeah, so like this dynasty, one of the most important aspect that has happened in this dynasty is okay. So like they are like as you can see, like they are not like Buddhist. They have given patronage to Buddhism. Okay, so like they are like Brahminical dynasty. Okay, they consider like themselves to be Brahmins. Okay, although like in Puranas they are called as Andhras. In Puranas, like this dynasties, Shatavahanas, called as Andhras. ANDHRAS. Okay. They are also called as Andhras. This again, it's a question. So, which of the following dynasties is denoted as Andhras? Answer is nothing but Shatavahanas. Like in when was the Puranas compiled? Like yesterday or like day before yesterday, I have talked about that. It was like okay around 4th, 5th century. Okay, so Vishnu Purana, like a lot of Puranas are compiled, no? So that you might have heard of. So like this was compiled like in 4th and 5th centuries. Okay, so like this within the Puranas, like these Andhras are called as Shatvanas. Okay, so like I mean Shatvanas are called as Andhras. Okay, so but doesn't mean like they started their ruling from Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so like we know they have started their ruling from Maharashtra. So like then later they conquered Andhra Pradesh. Okay, they started from Maharashtra, then later they conquered Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so and like the one of the important aspects of this dynasty is this dynasty helped. Like, see, I told you like these are like Brahminical dynasty. Okay, so like they started giving land to the Brahmins. That was started from this dynasty. So like when you read like okay Indian history, okay, all the important dynasties, Cholas, Imperial Cholas, I'm talking about Guptas, Harshavardhana. Okay, all of them actually started giving land to the Brahmins. Those lands are called Brahmadaya lands. Okay, so like Agraharas are Brahmadaya lands. So like that land, like okay, so like again, good number of questions can be expected from here. Okay, so like these Brahmadaya lands. Okay, so like that, it's land grant given to the Brahmins. They are called as Brahmadaya lands. Okay, they are actually tax-free land grants that used to be given to the Brahmins. Okay, so like that, this whole process actually started from Shatavahanas. Okay, so any doubt until here? So last few minutes, we are done. We are done with the Shatavahana dynasty. So like other aspect with respect, see, get the picture. Okay, so like this is sort of skeleton. Okay, so this almost makes the end of BCs. Okay, that is like before Christ or BCE, before Common Era. Okay, so like only one topic left. So to talk about like BCE. Okay, so like we have somehow talked about AD as well. Okay, or like CE, for example. So like Tritaman, I told you 150 AD. Okay, so like he ruled around 150 AD. And yesterday we talked about Kanishka. Okay, so today also I told you like he's the most important ruler. Okay, so like this, when it must have been first century AD. Okay, so like northern India, we have already moved to AD. Okay, all this happening in northern India, no? So why we should leave South India? So like let's talk something about South India. Okay, so like all this, when like all this thing was happening in northern India, so like South India, like three dynasties were ruling. Okay, they are called Cholas, Pandyas, and Cheras. Cholas is like northern part of Tamil Nadu. So Pandyas in the southern part of Tamil Nadu. So Cheras in Kerala. Okay, so this, how will we know about the Sangam period? We'll know Sangam period through Sangam literature. Okay, so like the most important Sangam literature are Silpadikaram. Okay, so like see, this Sangam literature has two epics. Okay, one epic is called Silpadikaram, second epic is called Manimekal. Okay, so like there is a grammar book called Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam is a grammar book. And Tirukural, so like this book is written by Tiruvallavar. Okay, so like it talks about the again philosophies. There was one essay question that was asked in UPSC this year. Okay, that quote directly came from like this Tirukural book. You want to listen the quote? It looks like a tongue twister, but it is not. Okay. Uh, if you remain untroubled in trouble, if you remain untroubled in trouble, you can trouble the trouble itself. Okay, it looks like a tongue twister, but it is not. What it is trying to say, like remaining untroubled in trouble. Okay, it means remain calm when you are going through some difficult situation. So, like trouble situation, remain calm. So, if you can remain calm, that too when you are in the trouble. So, like then you can even defeat the trouble. Okay, so that's the meaning. See, like again, important lesson. If you remain untroubled in trouble, you can trouble the trouble itself. So like there is a meme actually, like after UPSC asked this question, so like there is a meme, like there is a Telugu actor called Balaya. Okay, so like he actually starts to sing. Okay, there is a meme as well, like check after the class, you'll laugh a lot. Okay, so don't trouble the trouble. If you trouble the trouble, trouble will trouble itself. I am not the trouble, I am the truth. You don't know the meaning of that, but I know the meaning of like, okay, what Tirukural had said. Arey,
It's a lot dialogue in that movie.
it's a long dialogue in that movie. Yeah. All dialogue, like
Not all, it's a long dialogue.
long dialogue. Acha, yeah. So like the similar, it looks similar, but the meaning of that, I don't know. So but like the meaning of this is very clear. Okay, so like be calm when you are going to the trouble. If you remain calm, you definitely can. Okay, so like defeat the trouble. Whatever is troubling you, so that won't be a problem. That won't be a problem. Okay, so that's the meaning of that. Okay, so that again, like UPSC has started or has made a habit of asking quotes from this book now. Okay, Thirugar, there is one more quote. Okay, so I want you people to give an example for that. Okay, so falsehood, Sullu, okay, takes the place of truth. Okay, when it does unblemished good. Andre, falsehood, so it will take the place of truth. But when it will take the place of truth, only when it does good to the society. So give an example for that. Any example, personal, like ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಸತ್ಯದ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತಂತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. Any examples? No, not think. This is also like the quote given by Thiruvallavar in that book Thirukural. Not finding an example. No. Okay. Think of COVID. So like there were no 100% evidences that we had to take vaccines or we had to use masks. Correct. So, but like the government said again, without the evidence, also like the government would have went ahead with the limited information because like the incident was unfolding before the years. Like there were like no set patterns because ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ. So like they were not aware of that. Okay, so like the things were unfolding, like they had to be quick to save life. Okay, so like they would have told like this is the matter to go. Maybe that could have saved lives. Okay, we don't know. Like although instead of waiting, see in that situation we couldn't have waited for the complete information to arrive, whether to take the vaccines or whether to completely use the masks. Okay, so like with the limited information, like as the situation was unfolding, the government had to take their own actions. Okay, so like this, you can actually tell that. Okay, so like falsehood can take the place of truth. You see, if you can not hurt your friend by telling like some lie. Okay, so like you can do that. So if it can actually like does him good, if it shouldn't do him bad. See, like being not honest. So if you look at long run, it can be bad for him. You're just lying to your friend. Okay, so like in the long run, he won't actually change the things like he needs to change, right? So that is harmful. But okay, so like in some instances, so by not telling the truth, if it can actually help him, so like then it takes the place of truth. That's the meaning of this. Okay, so like imagine the depth of these people written in like again 80s and all. So, but so you can understand. Okay, so like how less we know. Okay, and how much there is to learn. Can you understand? Okay, so like how much there is to learn, or how many important things you can learn. So like history is not just history. That's not how you should study history. Okay, there is no point studying history like that. So like, but yeah, so to pass the exam, even to pass the exam, you can't remember unless like you give a thought about these things. Try it. Okay, so like just try to by heart something and come back. So like you don't stick. Memory doesn't work like that. Okay, so for your memory to stick, so like you should actually like frame, or you should understand the things in a deeper manner. That's when you do understand and like remember it. Okay, so like the most important book that is written in this period is like Shilpadikaram. Okay, so like Silpadikaram. Okay, the most two important epics. Okay, so epics only like there are a lot of stories. The main story is, so like there are many characters. Okay, so one character is Kannagi. Second character is Kovalan. So third character is Madhavi. Okay. So like this Kannagi and Kovalan got married to each other. Okay. Within this Silpadikaram. So it's a story like about these three personalities. This Kannagi and Kovalan married to each other. Okay. After their marriage, okay, so like this Kovalan had a like extramarital relationship with the Madhavi. Okay, so like that led to like Kannagi being alone. Okay, she was really sad. But what happened or what transpired was, so like after a certain point of time, this Kovalan understood that okay, he needs to come back to Kannagi. Okay, so like then he leaves Madhvi. Okay, so like then he comes back to Kannagi. Okay, so but by this time he has lost all his wealth to Madhvi. Okay, so like he was almost broke. But Kannagi being a good wife. Okay, so like this, there is a Kannagi cult. How in North India, so like people consider Sita as the most pativrate. Okay, so like the people of Tamil Nadu consider Kannagi. There is proper Kannagi cult is there. Okay, so like this, once he comes back, although like he was broke, okay, he has lost everything. Okay, still Kannagi forgives him. Okay, he gives him one more chance. Okay, so he gives her own jeweler, okay, to this Kovalan, and Kovalan went to sold it to the market, and like after getting some money, so he wanted to do something with it. Okay, once he went to the market while selling it, at the same time, like there was something that happened in the Pandan court. Okay, so the capital city of Pandan is like Madurai. Okay, so Madurai, which is there in like south part of Tamil Nadu. So like what happened was like the queen also lost her anklet. Okay, so like the anklet of queen and the anklet which this Kovalan had both looked one and the same. Okay, so when like queen announced that like she has lost an anklet, okay, so like he is trying to sell this anklet. Okay, so that person told like okay, so like this anklet looks like a queen's anklet, and so like Kovalan was dragged into the like the palace. Okay, so like there. King. Okay, so like the Pandan king, his name not important. Nedunjerial Adan. Okay, Nedunjerial Adan. So that's the name of the Pandan king. Don't remember. Okay, so like it's only for your story. Okay, so this when like okay, so Kovalan was taken into the court of that okay court of that king. There the king pronounces the decision. So like yeah, I will give him the death sentence. He was right then and there got slaughtered. Kovalan. Okay, so the information reached to Kannagi. Okay, so Kannagi comes and Kannagi starts crying. Okay, so how can you do that? Okay, so like it was not your anklet, it's not the queen's anklet. Okay, so like it's my anklet. Okay, she breaks that anklet and shows that like that her own anklet was made up of like simple items like rubies and all. So like the queen's anklet would have made up of like lot of jewels. Okay, so like once she breaks and shows that, so the king understood his problem. But Anagi, so like with a lot of anger, started to cry and started to curse the whole Madurai city. The whole Madurai city started to get burnt. Okay, so only when gods came, okay, so like after that they could have like okay calmed Kannagi down and took her to the heaven. Yeah, so like that, this whole story, like even in the present day times, okay, so like Kannagi is considered as one of the most pativrata women in the history of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so like then like there is a book called Manimekalai. Okay, so like which is see this like I told you about the Kovalan Madhavi, right? So like although Madhavi also get depressed once Kovalan leaves. Okay, so like they had a daughter. That daughter's name is like so I forgot the daughter's name. They had a daughter. Okay, so like that daughter, like she has seen again how her mother suffered because of love. Okay, that is the whole story of like next book Manimekalai, which is written by Satanar. This Silpadikaram is book written by Ilango. Okay, so like this, her daughter like she got like really sad. Okay, so like she knew like okay how love has devastated her mother. She didn't wanted to fall in love again. Okay, so like she said one of the king was pursuing her. King himself was pursuing this daughter. So but like she was not interested in love. Ultimately, like the king understands as well. Okay, so like he tried very hard. Okay, so but again, so she turned into Buddhist monk. This daughter. Okay, so like the whole stories are different. Okay, that is has been dealt in like these two epics. Epics are like Ramayana Mahabharata is epic. Okay, similarly, like in Tamil Nadu history, like these two books are epic. All these are not important. Okay, so like Silpadikaram, Bhartirad Hilango, Adbek Nimge Examge. Okay, not that story. Mani Mekalai, Bhartirad Satanar. Okay, Tolkapiyam, it's a grammar book. Okay, Tirukural, it is a book of philosophy written by Tiruvallavar. Okay, so like that's it. So like, shall we end the class? Okay, like there are three. See, through these books, like through these literary works, we'll come across three dynasties that were ruling at that time. So like those dynasties are called Cholas, Pandyas, and Cheras. Okay, so like these are like Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas of ancient time. We'll see whatever like we have learned. We'll see the questions in tomorrow's class, and also we'll try to complete Guptas and the later dynasties. Okay, so was it enjoyable? The whole class. So learned things. What other things you have learned?
So,
So many things. Like all these will go if you don't revise. Not a classic barakina manche. What you should do? You have to revise and come. Okay. Now go have food. Okay. So like after that, take some rest. So after that, revise. Because like it's a long class of 4 hours. Okay. So anyways, okay, we'll meet you tomorrow again. So thank you for listening patiently. So we'll again learn a lot of things in tomorrow's class. Okay. Tomorrow's class will be last for ancient India. Or yeah, mostly like it will be last for ancient India. So like then we'll proceed with the medieval India. Okay. So thank you.